Getting nasty on a Thursday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 202. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Shout out to the Snake Pit, our Air Alliance team YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys being tuned in throughout the course of the day today. Wherever you're listening, here in St. Louis or other places, we appreciate you. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. You can always get a hold of us that way, or if you want to leave us a mic drop via the Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app, you can do that as well. Going to be talking some Blues, some Cardinals, some football today, so love to have you along for the ride. We start off with perhaps the biggest news here locally, which is that FanDuel Sports Network will now carry Cardinals games. We don't know for how long. We don't know if it's a multi-year deal, if it's a one-year deal.
It's a multi-year deal.
Multi-year deal. There you go. So we don't know the actual term or the money involved.
No.
But the bottom line is the Cardinals now will likely have a direct-to-consumer, which means you can pay for the product and have it directly streamed to you. And you don't have to have cable. You don't have to have satellite. That's likely the way it's going to go.
And from what I understand, you don't have to live in the area.
Which is
So
huge.
if you're a Cardinals fan out in California or New York or wherever, I haven't checked into Canada yet. I'll have to do that because Mama Rivers likes the Cardinals, so maybe she'll be able to get that in Canada. But
it's her National League team.
It is her that's her National League bird. Yes, correct. The Blue Jays being her American League bird.
Of course.
Both team, they were both for the Birds last year. Not very good. But, so that's where we're at. Not sure about all those kind of logistics, but it looks like the Cardinals realized that the best way to go about this is to continue kind of doing what they do, because it is heavy lifting to try and create your own platform and all that stuff. And it's probably better for the Cardinals financially to do it this way.
And they don't have to cut payroll now because they know they got money coming in, right, Anthony?
Oh, Kerry, I don't think it works that way.
No, that was the issue. They didn't know what was going to happen with Bally, so they had to make sure that they didn't spend too much. But now, you got FanDuel back, and you're good to go. You got money. You can spend it, right? And you don't have to cut rosters, cut the payment, cut the salary. You can spend more money.
Well, there's a couple of things to unpack here. Number one being, I don't think it'll be the same amount of money that they were receiving from
Valley
Sports Midwest.
It is the same amount they got this year.
This year,
There you go.
but in years past, maybe not.
So you got money coming in where you
Second-
didn't have any, or you weren't unsure. So
Secondly,
I don't like.
I think they're pretty committed to this player development strategy.
/ payroll cut.
Jamie.
I see what you did there with the slash.
Yeah. I told you, they're Trojan horsing a salary dump here.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what, though?
I don't care. I'm fine with it.
I'm good with it, too.
Yeah.
I don't need to see another mid-level free agent
Me either.
that's
Me either. I don't need to see
Marsh.
it either.
Oh,
you know, because we out in L.A., we spend that damn money. You know?
What is he, French?
We spend
Apparently.
that damn money. We gonna pay as many players as we need to. You know? You know why? Because we want to win championships. Good luck, Cardinals.
Oh, my goodness.
This is the most disgusting thing you've ever done on these
I'm going
airwaves.
to hide those glasses.
And he's sticking with it, too. Those are our Blues glasses.
I don't
Yeah,
really
they're
like
Dodger
you
Blues glasses.
double dabbling on my glasses.
They're Dodger
you know?
Blues glasses.
I don't like
Dodger
this one
Blues.
bit. Not one bit.
Dodger Blues.
Anthony, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right. You guys continue. I'm going on Amazon to buy Dodgers glasses.
Don't you dare.
No, for Carey.
No. Don't you dare.
These are my
those are just reading glasses.
You put them on, you got confused.
Can't see without them.
That was hilarious.
I was like, what's he? And then I'm like, oh, God.
So for those that aren't in the snake pit, as soon as Jamie put on his reading glasses, Marsh also fired off the NFL draft pick. The selection is in jingle, which we use for our Cardinals glasses or our Blues glasses.
Yes.
Or Dodger Blues glasses.
We've
or
also
Carey's nice
Steelers.
Yeah. I ain't broke those out. Wait till this weekend.
I'd rather you put those on than those damn things.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know?
So no, Carey, I don't think this means that the Cardinals are just going to go after guys like Juan Soto. I think they'll probably stick with the game plan, which is they're not going to up payroll that much. They're going to be all in on developing players, which probably should have been the case, I don't know, over the last 10 years or so.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's a little bit late, but better late than never.
Who made the decision at one point to say, you know what's not important? Developing these guys. They'll show up. We'll put them on the field. At some point, they'll be big league ready. We'll know it because we'll see it, and we'll be good.
I asked you all a question earlier in the office, and I just want to know when these decisions, does this mean that they had no idea what was going on, the last few years? Because these are, in my opinion, sound, solid decisions.
Yeah.
You develop players, you prepare players, and then you put players in a place to have success. That's usually...
Is that how it works?
I mean,
which sport? Now, which sport are you talking about?
What is this craziness you're talking?
Any sport. You prepare them, you develop them, and then you give them an opportunity to play. In that order.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily put them on the field and say, figure it out. Because that usually doesn't work well. I've been watching sports my entire life, played a few. And that's usually how I go. You have practice, which is the preparation and the development.
Sure.
And then you get thrown into the fire, which is the actual game. And then you have to do the things that you learned in practice while you were preparing and being developed. And that puts you in a place when you're playing to have success. Now, if you skip a step or 3 or 4, you just go out there. Good luck, man. You're talented. Figure it out.
We drafted you to be good. So why don't you go ahead and start being good?
Go ahead and do that thing you do,
Whatever you did in high school or college, just do that now.
Do that.
Just go ahead, do that. We're watching.
You'll be great.
I don't know.
We'll be here. Yeah? You do you.
Works that way.
We'll be over here.
Yeah, I think it's arrogance. I think they thought, hey, we're the St. Louis Cardinals. We've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, the league won't catch up to
They
what
won't
we're
catch
doing.
up. We'll be fine. That's exactly what happened. And we're so fine that we're not going to spend as much money because we can get away with it.
Yeah.
Well, turns out you can't.
Playing a crap division. We'll throw the fans a bunch of bobbleheads and, umbrella hats, and we'll be good.
Well, they don't even do the Brock umbrellas anymore. I don't
Gotta
think.
do that.
We'll cut back on the
No,
new
we
Brock
need
umbrella.
more Brock umbrellas.
We'll just give them various giveaways. We'll promote those giveaways, and we'll throw a former Cardinal that we brought back at them, and they'll be fine.
But it'll be like a random former Cardinal.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going A-list.
Nah.
We're like some random, no offense, like John Jay, great guy, but like, it's John Jay bobblehead night. You're like, really?
Right.
John Jay? Or like,
Yes, Carey. It's one of Carey's favorite.
It is one of my favorite
it's
Cardinals.
great.
of all
Okay,
time.
I'll pick another one. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
We'll bring
Carey.
back Kiko Calero.
There we go.
Kiko Calero.
I don't even remember that.
That's a poll right there. Wow. Okay. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Cardinals, FanDuel, Sports Network. That's good. This is a good thing. It's good that they've aligned.
I think it's good.
This is good for the fan base.
I think it's the best case scenario for the fan base.
I
Personally.
agree. I think this is something where, okay, you know where you're going to get your Cardinals games. You don't have to try to go to MLB.com where you're going to get blacked out. That's the biggest problem. That's the thing that you had talked about, Jamie, where if you're in another state, can I still get my Cardinals? And why wouldn't you do it that way? Why wouldn't you make it available? Why wouldn't you make the streaming available everywhere?
I don't know.
There's Cardinals fans everywhere.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you try to tap into what MLB.com is doing? Now, I don't know if there's certain legal things, copyright infringement. I have no idea. That's above my pay grade. But if you can, and there's an avenue to have somebody, and I don't know what the price is going to be.
Yeah, let's wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see what that is.
Oh, no. We're celebrating today, but my
I
goodness.
shudder to think what they could do here.
Yeah.
But assuming that it's reasonably priced for a couple of months, or if you buy a season package, whatever it is, why wouldn't you make that available to everybody in the nation? Every Cardinals fan in the nation. All right, Fastlane, 101 ESPN. The Blues get back into action tonight. One of the issues that they've had, even in wins like the other night against Tampa, has been the first period. Jamie's got some thoughts on how the Blues can start faster, including tonight against the Utah Hockey Club. That's next on 101 ESPN. back in action tonight. They take on the Utah Hockey Club pregame right here on your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN, starting at 6 o'clock. I almost said 1 o'clock.
Oh, I was going to say,
6 o'clock.
Either I'm late or that's a really late game.
1 a.m. NHL moved it back. No. Pregame starting at 6 o'clock. Puck will drop about 7 o'clock or so. The puck drops, Jamie, about 7:05.
Yeah.
The Blues typically don't get going until about 7:45 or so. Most games.
Stop.
Depending on the time.
Second period?
Yep.
Okay.
How does this team get started quicker? When you have seen this in the past, why do teams typically have slow starts? If we could generalize the crap out of this segment.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's always a question. Why do they start slow? I don't know. Like...
What the hell?
Well, there's no specific thing. If you had a specific thing, the coaches would fix it.
Fix it, Jamie.
Well, I can do it.
I would get there an hour earlier.
As it is, Carey, I already leave early.
Not you.
But Mike, you heard Carey. I'll be leaving an hour earlier.
Talk about the players.
No, that's fine, Carey.
Team.
You know what? If it's all about the team,
start everything
I'll
about an hour earlier.
Yeah.
No, I think that, look, it's been prominent the last couple of games because you've played really good opponents. You've played the Maple Leafs, you played the Lightning. They're just filled with talent, speed, and skill. And teams like that can put you on your heels in a hurry. So I think that that's part of it. The other side of it is I think that this group is still gelling, coming together. If you look at the lineup, and I could be wrong, maybe once, I don't think the lines have been the same for more than one game at a time all season long. And it's not because Drew Bannister's just tinkering with the lineup. Injuries.
He's indecisive.
No. I wish you could say, hey, coach, come on, slow it down here, But Robert Thomas goes out. Then Matthew Joseph goes out. Then you have Kasperi Kapanen goes out. Then Dylan Holloway goes through his. Like, the lines just haven't been. He hasn't been able to have a lot of continuity overall. Now, tonight, looks like, hopefully, fingers crossed, same lineup as last game. Dylan Holloway is going to be a game-time decision. Was sitting there talking to him this morning, and he says he's ready to go, says he feels good. He had a bike ride yesterday, on the ice today, so we'll see. But come game time, I guess we'll find out. Mm-hmm. But no, I think for the Blues, the trend that I've seen is just playing a little more physical. When you play physical, even if you're getting hit or being part or just going to the net, you're dragging yourself into the battle at that point. And that usually creates an intensity that's elevated and should bring out your best performance. And I'm noticing a lot of smart hockey, too. I talked about it yesterday for a brief second, just puck management, putting the puck behind the opposition, getting in on the forecheck, establishing that zone time in the offensive zone. They've had trouble doing that in the first period, and I really don't know why. It's not something I've been able to look at, dissect, and go, oh, there's the reason. Mm-hmm. It's like just a combination of little things that are happening that keep them kind of defending more than attacking. And again, it could be the skill of your opponent as well. That takes some time to wear them down. You go back to some of those big, heavy teams the Blues had, a number of years ago, 2019 to 2020 team. Like, they also didn't start slow, but you'd start to see the impact of the way they played midway through the second period. Start to wear down the opposition, start to create that, that puck time in the offensive zone, cycle the puck down low. So I'm not saying it's the exact same formula now, but it's kind of looking a little bit like that. Sometimes you're paid off further down the road in the game. And so for me, for the Blues, it's making sure you're defending like you have been, playing physical, and establishing that forecheck.
You talked about not just poking your stick out there and putting bodies on people. Is that, don't poke your stick out there. Put your body on.
Carey.
Yeah, be careful. And that's something that Bannister wants them to do. Is that just a mind thing, just going and getting it done? Because it's easier, I would assume, to just stick your stick out there as opposed to putting your body closer to a person. You close that airspace, it makes it harder for them to shoot a shot. How do you continue to reaffirm that notion that you need to do that over and over and over again instead of taking the easy way out?
Yeah, it's easy. It's called video.
Okay.
It's called video.
This is you.
But you show clips of here's where we're at when we're just stick checking and creating the flybys.
Yeah.
and here's where we are when we go stick on puck, body through body. And you can see the results are going to be different.
Yeah.
And the key here is, like, when guys, skilled players, check out on the ice, and that doesn't mean body checking, just defend. They want to go stick on puck, create a turnover, and go.
Right.
So their first thought is not body through body, because if you do that and you poke the puck, well, you're kind of defending yourself at the same time. But that mindset has to be there for those guys. And it doesn't have to be a bone-crunching hit. It just means you're staying between the opposition and your net. So even if it's just a little bump, stick on puck, just a body through body, finishing your check, it keeps the opponent at bay, and it keeps you engaged physically as well.
I would assume it's more frustrating also as an offense, when you got the puck on your stick as an offensive player, trying to shoot a shot when somebody's right in your face. Like, it's a little bit easier if they're just sticking their stick out of there. You can go around them and get to where you need to get to or make a pass.
Well, let's compare it to this. Let's say you have a defensive player that is blitzing the quarterback, and that defensive player, instead of looking to hit the quarterback, he's trying to tip the ball. Right. So he's jumping and but he never really gets hit on the quarterback.
Right.
So the quarterback's really not worried about this guy. Or you get the guy that wants to come through and put his helmet through the numbers on your chest, and he's right on you. Now your passing is maybe the quarterback's a little tighter with his throw. Maybe he's like bailing a little bit more. It's the same thing for hockey. If I know a guy's coming in consistently and he's kind of swinging the stick and kind of looping away from me, I'll hold on to it. I have no reason to be nervous, except for turning the puck over, but physically I'm not nervous. But if I've got a player like a Nathan Walker, per se, where I know his main goal, he's treating me like the red cape and he's the bull, and I know I've got to move the puck and I got to brace myself. And lots of times at that point, you're shortchanging the pass. It's a bad decision with the puck. It's a quick decision with the puck. That's why being physical is important, because the opposition then feels the pressure.
This Utah Hockey Club comes into town. They've won just once in their last 7 games. So the Blues are catching this hockey club at the right time.
Don't say it. Don't, Anthony, stop right there.
Already.
This Utah Hockey Club is phenomenal. Highly skilled individuals. Their top line with St. Louis area native Clayton Keller. They're very good. And Clayton Keller has been extraordinary against the Blues his entire career. So this is going to be a tough game.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think he already said it, Jamie.
I just trying to walk past it here, okay?
Yeah, they've really struggled of late. But here's the thing. As we know, this Blues team is banged up. So you can't overlook any opponent. And if we know anything about this Blues squad dating back to last year, if they've got an opponent...
last year, Anthony.
That isn't great.
This is a new team.
I'm tired of last year.
It's a new year.
It's a new. I mean, he's still mad because we beat his Sharks this year.
Yeah, well,
that's what he's upset about. He's like, "Well, I did take the night off there."
Yeah, he was excited last year when they won 3 games.
He was
on his birthday.
That grin, same one he's got right now.
They won on his birthday. It was the best birthday present he's had in a while.
Happy birthday to me! He texted the group.
Sharks at home tonight against Minnesota. They can certainly help the.
No, look. Utah came out strong to start the season. They have been struggling here lately.
They realize there's the same team.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, by the way, the New Jersey doesn't change what we've got here, except the weather's a little colder where we're at." No, I think if you're the Blues, and I say last year, and I mean it, because the mentality of a lot of the guys on this team is way different.
Yeah,
you've mixed in so many new faces that they don't know what the hell happened last year. So it's not like they're like, "Oh man, we got to watch out for these lesser teams." They're like, "No, I want to go eat. Let's go. Let's get after it." And I think that, the energy of a Radek Fox, of a Dylan Holloway, of all these guys that are new to your team, that's helped you through some of these games. I mean, if you look at even the Philadelphia game, you should have won that game. You just couldn't score, which was a problem. Obviously, you got to try and score, but you didn't lay down, is what I'm saying. It wasn't like an awful effort. So hopefully the team sees how much fun it has been winning the last couple of games, seeing what kind of hockey has won them those games, and they start the game playing that way.
By the way, Jamie, congratulations to your Red Wings. They beat the Blackhawks last night 4-1.
Was that my pick?
Yeah, it was a great pick.
Yeah.
Great pick. Yep.
We actually all won.
Yeah, we did. Vegas came back. They were down 2-1, and they wound up winning 4-2. And Kerry Davis is on the board.
What?
Yeah.
Is somebody playing baseball somewhere?
No, he went back to the player prop, though.
Yeah, I did.
Which one?
Buddy
Points,
Hield.
rebounds, and assists. Got me a new one.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm going to vomit.
Worked out well.
What is it?
Buddy Hield.
How much do you need?
20 and a half. He had like 26, I think.
Yeah.
There you
I think
go.
he, 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist.
Good old buddy.
Way to go, Carey. Way to go. Marsh still with a commanding lead. Again, we're all playing for second place.
Anthony, you're down by 2.
That's an insurmountable
it
lead.
is.
That's an insurmountable lead.
You're by 5 on me.
When
4.
someone is locked in as you are right now, Marsh,
He's going, isn't he? He's
what are we
playing
going to
well,
do?
man.
You know, what are we going to do?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Tough on us.
You're right. You guys are done.
Thank you.
Damn.
All right. Thursday night football tonight. Ravens, Bengals. Can the Bengals get back into this season like they have in years past after slow starts? If they're going to do so, tonight is a must-win. Is there an avenue for Cincinnati to win this game? I think there is. That's next on 101 ESPN.
All right, St. Louis. With over 2 decades of family ownership and operation, EMB Granite has been St. Louis's trusted name when it comes to renovating your kitchen, renovating your bathroom, and now your outdoor living space. My friends over at EMB Granite, they offer an extensive collection of custom countertops, cabinets, and flooring that caters to everybody's taste. They've got a variety of colors, patterns, styles. All of it is guaranteed to make your living space that much nicer. I can tell you from my own experience with E&B Granite, when they did my old kitchen, it was a phenomenal experience. I went down to their showroom located at 6135 Manchester Avenue. I walked right in, and I didn't know what I was doing, so I sat down with the in-house design staff, and they walked me through it. And we basically built my kitchen right there in the showroom. And then we went into the back to look at the countertops where there's granite, there's marble, quartz, soapstone. So many unbelievable things to pick from that we settled on one. For me, it was quartz. It was a nice white countertop and it was just awesome. My experience with E&B Granite was phenomenal, and yours can be too. So please give them a call at 314-645-9300. Again, that's 314-645-9300, or you can always visit them at enbgranite.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Big news of the day, the Cardinals announced that FanDuel Sports Network will continue as the television home of the Cardinals. They have reached a new multi-year digital rights agreement with FanDuel Sports Network, which for the first time will include a direct-to-consumer streaming option for fans within the extensive Cardinals TV territory. We talked about that earlier today, so if you missed that conversation, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Schaefer Door Company 101 mobile app. It is free. Go check it out. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows on the podcast page, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Blues take on the Utah Hockey Club tonight. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7, and we'll talk with Chris Kerber at 3:15, so stay tuned for that interview as well. But we're going to dive into Thursday Night Football. Ravens take on the Bengals tonight. We'll get to that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Thursday Night Football tonight, you got AFC North rivals, the Ravens and the Bengals, meeting at M&T Bank Stadium. So Cincinnati has done this really since Zach Taylor took over, their head coach. Slow start to the season, then they start to pick it up. I don't think this Bengals team is as good as it has been in years past, though. So I don't think that this is going to be a major rebound season. However, if you are going to do it, it's got to come tonight in Baltimore. And the Ravens secondary has been torched all year by opposing passing attacks. They stop the run really well, but they cannot contain the pass at all. T. Higgins is doubtful, but Jamar Chase is still in a Bengals uniform last time I checked. Mike Gesicki has had a pretty good year. Iovicius has been an okay, secondary option when T. Higgins has been hurt. If Cincinnati's going to win this game, and they almost beat Baltimore in Week 5. In fact, I think they were leading virtually the entire game up until the final couple of minutes and then in overtime. There is an avenue for Cincinnati to win this game, and it's going to be Joe Burrow, it's going to be Jamar Chase, and it's going to be the Bengals passing game, basically pacing this attack. I don't think they win, but there is an avenue.
I don't either. I do think Joe Burrow has been playing at an elite level. If their record were better than it is right now, he would be one of those players that are in the MVP race conversation.
He's been hot.
He's been really good. The 4 of their 5 losses have been by 1 possession. So it's not like they're getting blown out. It's just the losses that they've had. They lost to the Patriots, which wasn't a good loss. But then 2 of the losses against the Chiefs and the Commanders, 3 of them against the Chiefs, Commanders, 4 of them. Chiefs, Commanders, Eagles, and Ravens are all right now playoff teams. So it's not like they're getting beat by poor teams. But it started off slow. Jamar Chase missed the entire preseason and didn't get rolling until week 2 or 3. And you've had the injuries with T. Higgins that you spoke about. So they've struggled a little bit offensively just getting going. But now that they are going, they're playing well. Chase Brown, ILL, has been playing really well as a running back. Hey, we give credit where credit is due. He's been playing really well at running back. But I don't think that they have enough. The addition of Tre'Davious White for the Baltimore Ravens, I assume that will help in that secondary that doesn't know how to catch passes, interceptions, and create turnovers. They struggled with that. The passing game against the Ravens has been, you can get whatever you want. Running, a little bit different, but passing, you can get whatever you want. So tonight is going to be a great matchup between these division rivals because you got 2 really high-powered offenses going against one another, and it's going to be about which defense makes the stop at the most critical time.
Yeah, I'll still take Baltimore in that respect because I don't think Cincinnati. I really like Lou Anarumo, their defensive coordinator, but you just see it. The talent just isn't there. anymore on that side of the ball for Cincinnati. I think this has got shootout potential, but I also wouldn't be surprised if this winds up being a big Derrick Henry game for the Ravens, because Lamar Jackson's dealing with a knee injury. Sorry, Kerry, but he only rushed for 4 yards last week.
But I think he threw for like 4 touchdowns.
He
like
did all the heavy lifting.
He's playing well in the pocket and not having to extend plays with his legs like he has in the past.
Yep. But I do think that this winds up being more of a Derrick Henry game, because if you're the Ravens, I do not want to get into a shootout, Jamie. I saw how that could happen in Week 5, and they needed the Bengals really to choke in the final couple of minutes and in overtime for me to win that game.
Yeah.
So
if I'm the Ravens, I really want to control the clock tonight. And the best way to do that is just absolutely feeding Derrick Henry all night. Because if you get into that shootout like you're talking about, if you're 3 passes, and 3 and done, then you're giving the ball back to Joe Burrow. And let's just be honest, Joe Burrow will find a way to pick apart that defense somehow, some way. Now, what level of success will it be ultimately? I don't know, but he's going to find a way to move the ball downfield. Best way to do that is keep the ball out of his hands. Keep running that ball. You'll find your spots. I mean, Lamar Jackson's such a great quarterback. He'll find his spots to chuck it down the field and get big chunks of yardage, but Derrick Henry's been an animal, and I would just hitch my wagon to that and go, and that would be my primary source of offense for the night. Making the pass a secondary choice, which usually it's in reverse for some of these teams that have an elite quarterback.
Right.
But I think that's the best way to do it. The more time you can have Joe Burrow sitting on the bench, the less time he can burn you.
Right. It's interesting. I was thinking about this with like the Chiefs. So we keep watching the Chiefs, and they're 8-0, but it just hasn't, as Marsh laughs at something. All right.
So hang on.
I was like,
we
what?
got a text before this segment started from the 618. Can't wait for Anthony to turn this segment into how good the Chiefs are. Ha ha.
That's why Marshy laughed so hard.
We talk about the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offense not looking great, right? We keep saying, well, they're not looking great. There's been no mention about Baltimore's defense, because we keep highlighting Lamar Jackson, the fact that he's an MVP candidate. Like, Baltimore hasn't looked like Baltimore defensively.
No.
I know the run defense is really good, but that secondary
they stink.
Yeah, this is not
Why
Baltimore.
Why are they so bad?
They can't catch passes.
Yeah, but why are they so bad?
They can't catch passes.
Okay, but apart from not catching passes,
I don't know.
I think part of it too is just.
Just wondering.
They stink.
I think part of it is too is just it's more like pass funnel, because when you shut down the run, teams are like, well, to hell with this. We're not running the ball. We're gonna have to put the ball in the air. You get more cracks at Baltimore secondary too, but you still have guys running wide open in the secondary. They've had issues virtually since week 1, and their new defensive coordinator, or just it doesn't seem like he has figured out how to time up his blitzes, how to generate pressure without bringing extra front 7 personnel or players from the secondary, and their guys aren't winning one-on-one. And as you mentioned too, I mean, Kyle Hamilton and the cornerbacks are dropping easy interceptions. At least they did against Jameis Winston in Cleveland.
They have to. That's the one thing, the one concern about the Baltimore Ravens that I would have is the defensive side of things. Like Lamar Jackson is on an MVP track. He is poised to win his 3rd MVP, 2nd in a row. And it in my opinion, it's not even close. Unless people are just tired of how great he's playing and they don't want to see him win another one. He's been the highest performer that I've seen this year. He had 3 incompletions last week, and he had 3 touchdowns. He had as many incompletions as he did touchdowns. So he's playing extremely well, and he's not having to use his legs. But the question and the concern is defensively, what are you going to be able to do? You went out and signed Tre'Davious White. You traded for him, a former All-Pro. He's a guy that, if and when healthy, can become a lockdown corner. I don't know how much, of the defense he's going to know, how much he's going to be prepared for if he plays tonight, if he's ready to roll. I have no clue. But that addition can only help your defense that is struggling in the secondary. Like, you've seen guys drop interception after interception and blow coverages. Right after the Kyle Hamilton drop, they blew a coverage and gave up a touchdown right behind the DB. Nobody there to help. It's like he didn't know it was is it man, is it zone? I don't know what I'm in. Oh, good, he's passed me and he's scoring a game-winning touchdown. Like, those things on defense can't happen, and they continuously happen for the Baltimore Ravens. So if normally when that happens, you have to simplify things, you have to slow it down, and maybe the addition of Tre'Davious White forces him to simplify things even more, because if you have all these exotic coverages, what difference does it make if I don't know who to cover, if I don't know where to be, if I don't know how to get there? You simplify it, you make things easier for the defense to digest, and you make sure that no one is behind you in the secondary, and you keep everything in front of you, and you make a play on the ball.
How can the Blues find any sort of consistency within their game? We'll talk about that next on 101 ESPN.
Who you choose to sell your St. Louis area home, that matters, especially in this changing market. We've seen the market all over the place in the last year to 2 years. It can be a challenge to sell your home. It can be a challenge to figure out what your asking price should be. Well, I know a few realtors out there, and I've seen what they're doing, and none of them compare to Gloria Liu, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is just different. She's guaranteeing to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or Gloria will buy it herself. When selling your home, you want the most money and the least hassle. That's exactly what you get when you use Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She just does the best job. She knows exactly what's trending in your area and knows exactly what price to ask. And the best part about it is she's got thousands of buyers in her database that she'll push towards your listing, and that'll help you get to the closing table. So all you have to do for that great customer service is call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. Again, that number is 314-325-6888. You can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com, and don't forget that conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree upon the sales price and possession date.
Tonight, the Blues will take on the Utah Hockey Club. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. And the Blues, after the victory against Tampa, they're starting to find some consistency here. But we've also seen them go up to Toronto and lose 3 straight after beating the Maple Leafs. So, Jamie, when you look
Why
at...
does he do that?
He's just giving the facts, Jamie. It comes off as a bit...
Not bad. Do you want to start the segment over?
Yeah,
Go
sure.
ahead. Actually, Kerry, please finish your statement.
Kerry, try to help me out here.
I think he's just giving the facts. He has to inform our audience of, the score, the record of what's taking place, and then he'll get into what the expectations are for tonight's game.
Yeah. Are we
why
starting
doesn't
it over?
he do that when it's positive? Like,
well,
hey,
have you
coming off 2-game winning streak right now? Blah blah blah. Like,
That's a good question because that is also a fact.
It's also a fact,
and
we're highlighting the other ones.
I guess my question to you would be: have you met Anthony?
Well, yeah, I know.
So it's kind of
sometimes people change.
Can we start this segment over? I think Jamie's absolutely right. And there's just...
Do you want the bed music too?
Yeah, please.
Okay, all right.
I've thought a lot about this, guys, and,
All right.
here we go.
I
I apologize to everybody here. But let's just start this over. Our Blues get it on tonight with the Utah Hockey Club, and when I look at this Blues team, guys, they are absolutely rolling. Two wins now in a row. Tonight will be their 3rd, and they call that a winning streak. You see what they've done against Toronto. They beat their ass, huh? That's why you got rid of Chief.
Oh, my goodness.
This is what you asked for.
He's rethinking things right now.
Keep going. No, keep going. This is what you asked for.
After you took the Maple Leafs behind the woodshed, then you beat the Lightning.
Yeah.
They rode that Lightning, Carey.
That's a good team, too.
So when we talk about the consistency with our Blues, most likely Stanley Cup champions when it's all said and done.
Love it.
What are we looking for besides greatness? Of course.
I don't want to ask. Go ahead, Jay.
go ahead.
I was going to ask, do the injuries concern you at all, Anthony?
Did they concern me after the ass whipping of Toronto? Sorry, let me clarify. After either ass whooping of Toronto?
Nope, clearly not. You're spot on, brother. I apologize. Go ahead, Jamie. What you got?
Dylan Holloway took a puck to the neck, kept playing. That's Blues hockey. Got any other questions?
No. See, Anthony, great entrance to this segment. I appreciate your honesty and your enthusiasm and your energy, for that matter. But yeah, the Blues, so as far as playing consistent hockey.
Like when I think of Blues hockey this year, Jamie, what I think of it is when they have lost, and I'm actually shocked. I had to look at this to see that they did lose games. I think about basically the Blues beating themselves.
What about the Ottawa game? That was an 8-1. That kind of was
the Blues totally beat themselves in that game.
Well,
They completely beat themselves.
I'm asking
in that
a
game.
question.
Now you're doing
I
it.
just want to know what his opinions are.
Eat your avocado.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just the avocado? Anything else?
Yeah, I got a couple more suggestions for you.
I just think that, going back to that Ottawa game, and I'm glad you brought that up, so I think we can clarify
What
some
Ottawa
things.
game?
That was an exhibition game.
Oh.
For the Blues. Like they were testing out different lines and things like that. They knew that, Brady Tkachuk playing for Ottawa and, what Keith meant to this organization. They just wanted to make the kid feel good.
Gaudette, too, because he's a former Blue, right? Adam Gaudette. They wanted him to just feel better about his time here.
That's how good the Blues are this season.
They are good people, Kerry.
You give away some games just for charity, you're going to get those back. You already know you're going to get those back.
Hey, you got to give to get, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Jamie?
Well said. Yeah, so for me, the Blues...
God, take those glasses off.
No, leave him on. Leave him on.
Why would I take them off?
I think they look good, Anthony.
I'm not taking these off. I might put them on for every Blues segment.
For the rest of the day.
No, forever.
Just going to hot glue them on. All right, so we're wondering about the consistency of this team. Again, we talked about it in the first segment. It's not always easy to have consistent play when the lineup isn't consistent. And you hate to circle injuries, but you have injuries to key players. It's not like you've got injuries to your bottom 6 forwards or, your bottom 2 defense. Not that those guys aren't important. Trust me, made a career being in that spot. But, Robert Thomas plays north of 20 minutes a game. Nick Leddy, north of 20 minutes a game. Philip Broberg, north of 20 minutes a game. That's a lot of hockey that you're missing, and you're putting in guys who maybe aren't used to playing those minutes, so there will be some mistakes made. There'll be some inconsistencies. I do like the way they've played the last couple of games, not just because of the wins, but the Toronto game, I told you guys, it was feisty. It was gritty. A couple of scraps, and it got heated. Same thing last game against the Lightning. No scraps, but man, it got heated. And the one thing I really like so far this year, and I disliked a lot last year and the year before, is that teams are paying a premium now to stand in front of the net. Like you look at guys like Ryan Suter in particular. Like every time there's a whistle and somebody standing outside the blue paint, they're getting cross-checked or shoved right out of there. And then it's kind of become contagious because now you got Parayko, who's his partner, coming and throwing somebody in a headlock, and just to me that's just good team bonding. That's good team toughness, and I think that matters, and I think that can create consistency too.
Kerry, how about you? When you think of consistency with this Blues squad?
I love your thought process on it and how well they've been playing, and the games that they have lost, you forget because it's few and far between, right? They're doing a good job. In all honesty, I think they have come together despite the injuries, which that can take a toll on your team. You lose so many guys that are playing as many minutes as they are in Broberg and Robert Thomas, and guys that are your best players offensively and defensively. It can take a toll on your team. So to see them continuously be in games, I think is a good thing. And if they continue to, play together, and you're going to have different people adding to what you're doing. Like last game, you had Toropchenko scoring, you had Sonny scoring. You're going to have to get those goals from guys that may not often be heavy goal scorers, but it's the next man up mentality. And I think they've done a good job of that. And hopefully going forward, until the rest of the guys can get back healthy, hopefully they can continue it.
Anthony, we got a text from 314. The Blues are so good they can beat themselves. I think that's what you were alluding to in Toronto. Or in Ottawa.
In Ottawa, yeah. Absolutely. Again, whether it's Vegas or Minnesota, Winnipeg, what have they done this year? Montreal, Ottawa, Philly. Those were all games in which either the Blues felt the need to give a little charity or they just beat themselves. I don't see one opponent on this schedule that has actually beaten the Blues this year.
Oh. Oddly enough, I still prefer this Anthony.
That was a crab sandwich. All right, it's Fast on 101 ESPN. Good thing I don't have feelings, or else that would hurt. That one would have hurt.
The text line's calling you Tony Hockey.
Yeah.
But with like Tony Hockey.
I'll take it. All right, we've got some more Blues talk coming up with Chris Kerber at 3:15. We also have Jamie's 487 keys to victory. Although, really, it's only one.
Read this one.
What's up?
From the Water Boy. The Blues are so good, they belong in the MAC.
Absolutely. Some good action last night. I don't know if you guys were watching that. Now, Kent State stunk.
Man.
But Ohio took them behind the woodshed. It kind of reminded me of watching the Blues when the Blues play.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that Ohio was moving up and down the field is kind of like the way the Blues move up and down the ice. Mm-hmm. Ohio won like 41-0 over Kent State. That's basically what it's going to look like tonight against Utah.
41?
Maybe not 4. I think it's going to be 4-2-1.
Yeah. Oh, 4-2-1.
Yeah, but it's going to feel. It's going to feel like it's negative. It's going to feel like 14-1.
Yeah,
when it's all said and done.
Barely time to breathe.
One night.
But then they had a Western Michigan team that they stunk last night because they're Western Michigan.
You're happy about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime that Western Michigan loses, it's a great night. Yeah.
Good.
So I'm with you guys on that. All right. Wilson Contreras is being moved to first base. We didn't get Jamie's viewpoint on this, so we'll dive into that. Plus, there was a really interesting paragraph in John Denton's recent article at MLB.com that could suggest a current Cardinal, is on the move. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Looking to accessorize your current vehicle or maybe even a future vehicle? Head over to Pure Performance. My friends over there are the best in the business, and they're also your one-stop shop for all modifications. If you have a brand new vehicle and you're looking to modify it immediately, well, head over there. They will point you in the right direction. They've got everything that you need to continue to make that brand new vehicle look excellent. Maybe you got a little bit of an older vehicle. You don't want to buy a new one, but you want to change the look of it. Perfect time to visit Pure Performance. They've got everything in their 25,000 square foot facility. So many great things from light kits, leveling kits, lift kits. They get the tires, they get the rims, they get the running boards. Anything that you're looking for your vehicle, they've got you covered. And they're going to do amazing work on your truck as well, or your car, or whatever it is that you're driving. The showroom, by the way, is located in St. Peters, right off of Highway 70. When you go in, you got to do me a favor. Please ask for Shelby or Caleb. They are the best over there, and they're going to help you out immediately. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. And if you've got a budget that you're working within, don't worry. Pure Performance respects that, and they're going to get you the best possible things for your budget, and you're going to absolutely love what they do to your vehicle. So please stop by in person, check it out, or visit them online at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN 302. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Jamie, we didn't get a chance to talk to you yesterday about the Wilson Contreras situation. You were gone. We talked to you the first two segments, and then you weren't on the rest of the show. So when the news broke that Wilson Contreras was being moved to first base, we didn't get your thoughts on it. So before we dive into kind of an interesting paragraph here by John Denton, who covers the Cardinals for MLB.com, what were your thoughts when you heard the news about Contreras?
I just thought to myself, it's such a Cardinals thing to happen. You go sign what you believe to be the biggest unrestricted free agent at the catcher position. You throw a boatload of money at him, probably more than anybody else was going to pay him. Mm-hmm. And then immediately you're trying to make him an outfielder, a DH, and now you finally come full circle, and now you're going to play first base now. Like, the Cardinals talk about, well, you don't want to spend money. And no, how about you just spend it properly?
Mm-hmm. Right. It's not about spending. It's about spending it wisely.
Yeah. Or the messaging. Again, when you signed Contreras, if you thought there were holes in his game, which you should have been able to see, because you don't just sign an unrestricted free agent without scouting said player in a big way.
He said he wanted to be here. That's all they needed to scout.
A couple things is if...
Are you sure, Jamie?
If the scouts didn't see what was wrong, then you need new scouts. And two, if the scouts saw what was wrong and you signed him anyways, that's your mistake. Mm-hmm. So it all was very weird.
Yeah.
And then all Contreras has done for the Cardinals is mash baseballs the entire time he's been here, and he's tried his best to ignore all the noise, to put aside his differences with pitching staffs who tried to sewer him and people that tried to throw him under the bus. And he shows up every day with great energy, wants to be a Cardinal, very vocal when it comes to wanting to win at baseball. Like, this is why Cardinals fans love Wilson Contreras, is because they see the crap he's had to deal with, and he shows up every day and gives you everything he's got. So that, to me, was my first thoughts. Then, as I move the ball forward, I don't hate it. I don't. A couple things. If you're doing that and you're announcing it publicly, that means you're not bringing Goldie back. Mm-hmm. No matter what discounted rate might be out there, you're not. You're moving on. So I think that's a great idea. Nothing against Paul Goldschmidt. He was an excellent Cardinal. He was a good man. All those things. But it's time to move on to the next phase. What does Contreras look like at first base? I don't know. Has he ever played first base? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you got Alec Burleson who can play first base. I thought the natural progression would be maybe try to push Jordan Walker to first base, since the outfield's been a bit of a rocky experiment, to say the least. Mm-hmm. But you're going with Contreras now. So I do have some numbers that are interesting, though, because we always talk about how great of an offensive catcher he is and the bat plays and all these things. Well, here are numbers of where Wilson Contreras would have been ranked among first basemen last year. A minimum of 350 plate appearances. At 380, he would have been second in OBP.
All right.
12.6% batted ball percentage, second. Fourth in slug. He'd have been third in that Woe Bacon one you love so much. And he would have been third in WRC+. plus.
Okay.
That's
right.
among all first basemen with a minimum of 350 plate appearances. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go the other way.
No, I know. And that's when I started reading these numbers. I was like, wait, what?
Yep.
Like, I looked at it twice and three times. So if that's the case, then you're actually upgrading over Goldie.
Offensively, yeah.
Offensively.
Right. Absolutely, yeah.
Which then you'd be fine.
Yeah.
And it to me, then, it allows Herrera's bat to play in the catching position. He's got a lot of work to do behind the plate, but his bat plays.
Yeah, and I know you were talking about the offense.
I'm talking strictly
offense.
Yes.
I do think that, and I'll say this, I'll probably say this a lot leading up to spring training, you're going to have issues defensively. You're almost welcoming those issues defensively.
You had issues last year behind the plate.
You did, but they were at least somewhat better when Contreras was there.
That's why you practice. Remember? Practice, develop, play. Develop,
Carey.
practice, play.
Yeah.
He's played 11 games at first base, so he has played the position before.
Wilson? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's played
practically
before.
a Gold Glover.
He's played 39 games in the outfield.
No.
Yeah.
39 in the outfield?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
They should move him out there.
Started
Cardinals
25
love to
games.
move infielders into the outfield.
I don't think that's what
They love having 7 or 8 outfielders.
So John Denton of MLB.com, when he was discussing the Cardinals Contreras, set to move situation, also dropped this little nugget that if you were reading through it real quick, you would overlook it. He writes, again being John Denton, he writes, with Mason Wynn, Brendan Donovan, Alec Burleson, Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman, Thomas Ajacci, Andre Palante, Michael McGreevy, and Matthew Liberatore taking center stage, the Cardinals are contemplating trading high-priced veterans Nolan Arenado, Sonny Gray, Miles Michaelis, Steven Matz, and Contreras. Arenado's owed $74 million, Gray owed $65 million, Michaelis owed $17.7 million for 2025, and Contreras owed $59.5 million. Have full no-trade clauses in their contracts, meaning they would have to approve any deals to other teams. Okay, makes sense. Nothing shocking there. Denton continues. One of those veteran players has informed the Cardinals that he would like to play elsewhere instead of going through a rebuilding period, Mozeliak said, without naming that player.
Oh, I know who it is.
Okay, let's play this game. So, Arenado, Gray, Michaelis, Matz, Contreras are the 5. We know it's not Contreras because he wants to be here, so we're down to 4 now, okay? I say we all say on 3 who we think the name is. And I want to see if we all time this up perfectly.
Do we say it the right way?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
3, 2, 1.
No! Sonny Gray!
Oh, who said Gray?
What?
I did.
You did?
Yeah. I think it's Sonny Gray.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think so at all. That guy carries a baseball everywhere. All he cares about is baseball.
Yeah, he cares about winning.
I don't know about that. He never said he cared about winning.
I think I also think Sonny Gray has the mentality that, you know what? I don't care where I'm at. I'm going to win here. I don't know if that's the case with somebody else.
With the expectation that this team was going to try to win the championship. Same as Nolan Arenado.
I think he signed here wanting to be a part of a team that's going to be a contender. I think Arenado wanted to be traded here because he thought, well, I'll just win now.
Derek Gould did.
And maybe that's unfair.
Derek Gould did put out that on X that earlier this morning that Sonny Gray wants to stay.
Carey, would you like to change?
Sure, do it again.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
No!
There it is. That sounded way better. Miles
Michaelis. I get so bothered by this team. I do. Like, I really do. Because you didn't know this previously. You had no foresight to see.
You probably didn't.
How?
That Nolan Arenado was going to be more of a front runner than.
Even if he didn't, even if he did want to be here, you still weren't going in the direction to be a good enough team to keep him. Now, what you do is when people say they want out, you just lowered the price. You do not get as much in return when you say yourself, I don't want to be there. And then that's not Nolan's fault. That's the Cardinals' fault for not realizing that this was going in this direction. It has been trending in this direction for 2 seasons. You could have traded him in 2023 and gotten a haul. And people on this, not on this show because I wasn't on this one, I was in the morning, you don't know what you're talking. Stick to football, Kerry. You trade people when their value is the highest, not when it's the lowest, not when they have a bad year. You have to see what is going to potentially happen. Jamie knows this. I know this. People in baseball, basketball, football, and hockey know this. You don't get better when you get older. You get worse. You start to trend you get slower. You don't stay as healthy. You don't feel as good. It takes you longer.
Yeah. Wish that was around.
It takes you longer to heal. You don't get better. So if you understand the way people's bodies work as professional athletes, you make that decision. Well, you can't trade him when he's fresh off of finishing 3rd in the MVP. Why the hell? That's the best time. When the hell else would you want to trade him? Let's trade him after the 24 season. See how that works out for us. When he says he doesn't want to be there. There's one thing to not have awareness, and I think they have been pretty unaware. I feel as though they've turned the corner of having more awareness now. Shocker. Wonder why that's happening. But they haven't had awareness for 2 to 3 years in terms of where they were going or what they were doing. Mm-hmm. And now you're going to trade a player who essentially gets you nothing in return when you could have done it. You could have done it last year at the trade deadline. You could have done it 2 years ago at the trade deadline and gotten a haul and be 2 years closer to where you're going to be 2 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking.
The only thing I'll push back on with
you're
that,
talking too much common sense.
Sorry.
No, it is common sense, but the only reason I'll push back on that, and it's not my opinion about this, Kerry, I think the Cardinals thought they were close to winning again.
How?
Just hear me out. Just hear me out. I understand what you're saying, and just don't be bitter at me here. Just hear me out. They went and signed other guys. They signed Sonny Gray, gave him a lot of money. They brought in guys. Their lack of knowing where they're at as far as a club is the bigger problem than their awareness of when to trade a guy. Because they didn't trade said players, Goldie or Arenado, because they were building around them still. So that was a lack of their awareness of what they had on their roster and a lack of their scouting abilities to determine how good these guys could be, and the dip. They thought the dip was it's just temporary. So that's the mistake they made. Should they, in hindsight, going back, saying, should they just said, screw it, went with a youth movement and traded those guys? Yeah, probably. But they didn't, because they believed they could go from last to first. That's what they said. We're gonna turn this ship around. We're back into the winning ways. It doesn't happen very often.
How often are
I'm
you
just
the worst
describing
team?
what they thought,
I
which is
understand.
why they ended up sewering themselves now to where they're at.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, if you're going to get rid of somebody, and you said you could get a haul back.
See you.
I think at this point, at least in their eyes, getting rid of money in itself is just as good.
Yeah.
Just as good.
Well, we'll see
because
we'll
when
see
these
how
guys
that goes, though.
When these guys are ready to go, maybe they'll be ready in 2 years, or who knows. Instead of having Nolan Arenado on the books and paying him that much money, maybe you could go out and get a different guy.
Yes.
Maybe.
Or develop one of your own.
Well,
That'd be fun to see, too.
Doing both.
Sure.
It's, you can do both. It has happened before.
Has happened before. All right, we're going to get to Chris Kerber next. We'll talk a little Blues hockey with him here on 101 ESPN.
Man, I don't know about you guys, but I'll tell you something. When you have central air, it really is one of the great comforts of owning a house, right? Doesn't matter if it's the middle of the summer. I like the house set at 70 to 71. In the middle of the winter, doesn't matter. I like the house set at 70 to 71. And to do that, I need the air conditioner. I need the furnace working perfectly. And how do I get that done? I make sure that I call the folks at Classic Air Care. They're actually coming to the house in a week and a half just to do a maintenance check to make sure I'm all ready set for the winter. They come by, I can order my air filters online, and they will make sure that when I travel and the wife and kids at home need the comfort of the house, they'll make sure that when I get home in the middle of the night, the house is right the way I want it, because I know that the unit's working. So whether you are in need of a repair, whether you are in need of a new unit, and prices are going to go up after the new year, so you want to get that unit installed now, they have appointments available. It's Classic Air Care. You can count on them to make your home comfortable like they make my home comfortable. Classic Air Care. Book an appointment online at classicaircare.com.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Let's head to the Collier Thompson Celebrity Line, phone line here, where we got our guy Chris Kerber, the voice of the Blues for the Blues Radio Network 101 ESPN. What's up, Kerbs?
Fellas, how are you today?
Well, we're doing good, especially with Dylan Holloway on the mend, and hopefully he plays tonight. We'll just have to wait and see. But Kerbs, you have been a part of these situations now a couple of times, unfortunately, in your broadcast career, where you have seen a player get injured and have to have medical attention right there on the bench. What can you describe what it's like to be the voice of a situation like that? People are listening, they can't see it, and you're trying to describe a scary situation. What's that like?
Yeah, you know what? You have the responsibility to tell everybody what's going on, but you also have the responsibility to the player on the ice,
sure,
their family, whether they are listening or not, and you have that responsibility to present it the way to. You're very careful not to speculate. Like we described what we saw. For me, it looks like the puck is hitting that collarbone, bottom of the neck area. So we're talking collarbone, and what the body can be like when that sucker breaks. You're seeing, where it hits the nerve, and Joe's talking nerves or veins and arteries and stuff. And we're always just real careful to present just the facts of what we saw and no speculation of it. Because, like in the case of Jay Bouwmeester, you really don't know what's going on. And in the case of Dylan Holloway, it could be somebody going into shock. It could be something more serious. In this case, it was a nerve getting hit that pretty much shuts your system off for a minute. So you're just really careful because you don't know the severity, and you don't want to present something that isn't there. And look, guys, I mean, the Jay Bouwmeester one, it goes to your mind, like, are you really basically watching a player die? Right. And that was by far, and you're extremely cautious and careful about that. And, and thank God, obviously, that wasn't the case. And in this case, same thing, but it is scary. We saw, I can't remember the player's name off the top of my head. Blues were playing Nashville. I can't remember his name. And he goes into the boards hard and breaks his femur, right? Oof. I mean, breaks the big bone in there, and they couldn't restart the game until an ambulance came back to the arena, because the one ambulance that was there was gone, taking him, and they couldn't start until another ambulance is at the arena ready to go. And you saw last night exactly why the reason for that kind of thing is. It's these medical guys. I mean, Ray Borelli, Dusty Quinn, like they're fantastic on the day-to-day stuff, and then the training and the work that the other doctors that are due. Sometimes they're sitting there thinking they're enjoying a game, and then bam, they got to spring into action. And it really is special work that they do.
Yeah, Kurz, it certainly is. Now, to circle back to Dylan Holloway in a different light, we're into the season here now at 13 games. What have you seen from the youngster that you've liked in his game? And, are you surprised at all at what he's been able to offer the team?
We talk about all the time, guys, taking advantage of opportunity if you're a young guy, right? I mean, and that's really what Dylan Holloway has done. Same thing with Broberg. You're talking about someone that's played less than 100 games in the National Hockey League. And in that moment, who knows really what kind of player they're going to become. And what have they done? They've just taken – they look like players that were poised to take that next step if given the opportunity. They've both been given it, and they're doing it. I think in Dylan Holloway, you had somebody with speed, right? But, wow, tenaciousness on the puck. Puck grit, as Larry Plow always liked to call it. his willingness to get back. His back checks have been as good as his forechecks. And you want to talk about earning trust with your coach? That's a great way to do that, isn't it? And then the ability to also put the puck in the net. I think when you're a Doug Armstrong and you bring a young player into the fold, overpay a little bit to get them based on what the true market is for what they've done so far, and you're seeing what you're seeing, you are extremely excited because you're seeing much more of a well-rounded hockey player than maybe you would have thought you would have originally had.
Curbs, I'm assuming you're already at the arena. Do you have any update? Is Dylan Holloway going to play tonight? Do you know?
I'm actually on my way down to the arena.
You're on your way there.
And I do not have an update. Look, if you look at the way, if you trust your old instincts, okay, it was an optional skate. They didn't skate. The coach says a game time decision. They wanted to see how they were going to go. And you only have two other forwards to keep you above 18. Mm-hmm. You don't have any extra defensemen, and your two other forwards are Matthew Joseph and Kasperi Kapanen. Kapanen and Joseph stayed out on the ice and skated as if they weren't playing and still trying to get back into it. So my guess to me is if they thought that, now, look, you've seen guys get bag skated at the morning skate and then play that night. And by the way, sometimes when they do, they play great games too, right? But at least based on the MO of what you're used to seeing and how you would see it, I think they're leaning towards him playing with Kapanen in the wing in case he doesn't.
Okay. That's a good sign. I was thinking about, Jamie and I were talking about it the other day, as a team, when you see a teammate go down, often if somebody gets hurt like a knee or a shoulder, ankle, it's not a big deal. You move on. You know the guy's going to eventually be okay. But when you have to have a stretcher come out, that is so nerve-wracking as a teammate to watch one of your teammates get hauled off, on a stretcher, and for that team to be able to bounce back and get back into that game the way that they did the other night. I think it speaks volumes as to where they are right now in this part of the season.
Well, and you know why? I got to obviously defer to Jamie and you here on this, Carey. But when you guys see, like, you guys go out and you play the game at such level, and you play the games with reckless abandon, right? Like, you're not playing the game concerned about your well-being, and it's just what you do, right? That when you see a player get injured severely or stretchered, and it's different when the player is stretchered off, isn't it, than any other scenario? Mm-hmm. It almost brings the reality of what actually could happen to you right to the forefront, and I think that's what bothers athletes more than anything in those situations, is because you guys are really supposed to be larger than life, and you are Superman out there, and there is a human reality to it. So it is tough, and you could, when you listen to the way the players talked and responded after the game, they said once we knew he was okay, we knew we were fine, and then they take it up a whole nother level. So this team has shown some really good resiliency. Look, you're one game over 500. You probably should be at least two more games up in the win column. And those two games to me are the Montreal game and the Ottawa game. But I just think they're finding adversity. They're finding about themselves. There's a togetherness about them that has them in every game. And there really is a level of kind of confidence that's brewing and percolating in that room that is a real big positive despite all the injuries.
Yeah, Curse, I think leadership, too, is playing into this. And, we go back to last game, and I talked about it a little bit this morning down at Morning Skate, but, you got a couple of youngsters in Kessel and Perunovic who get stuck out on the ice. They give up the goal against, and the next TV timeout, the goaltender, who is a Stanley Cup champion and one of the best in the league, skates over to the bench, has some positive words for Perunovic, make sure to grab Kessel, has some positive words of encouragement for him. Then those guys are out there and they're a part of a goal that your team scores after. Like, having that kind of leadership is special, isn't it?
Dude, and you know what? Just to see that come from the goaltender, right? And you know, like, when Roberto Luongo was in Vancouver, he actually was a captain of the team, right? You don't see that very often. To me, you need that kind of leadership, whether somebody has a C on it or not. And for it to be the goaltender, that's a Stanley Cup goaltender that's always backing it up, because players feel awful when they make a mistake, and yet it's the red light that's going on over the head of the goaltender, right? That for it, the goaltender to come to two young players, and both having played less than 100 games, both having played basically less than a full season in the National Hockey League in terms of total number of games, to come over and just say, hey, stay aggressive, don't stop going. That's a guy, that's a teammate that knows exactly what the team needs to do to continue to play to win. It's a player that knows that those guys are going to be important for them to win, and that's taken some pressure off those two young guys. Just an exemplary form of leadership shown there by Jordan Bennington.
Curbs, we know you're probably at the arena right now, so we'll let you go. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you again next Wednesday. Have a great call tonight.
All right, guys. Have an awesome week, and we'll see everybody down at the rink.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Curbs.
You got it.
See
ya. Bye.
I said Wednesday, I meant Thursday. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN tonight. We've got Blues versus the Utah Hockey Club pregame right here on 101 ESPN starting at 6 o'clock. Everybody get their picks in? Marsh?
Yeah, I got to do it after the show.
Oh, no, Marsh. Hey, this happened one time last year.
No, I'm going to do it.
We'll get Mike Ryder in here.
Yeah, Mike, is he still here? Can he? No. He got to come in and make our picks. What are you talking about?
I'll just have him do it.
Ryder hasn't made Marshy's picks yet?
No, that's why. Come on, Ryder.
Come on, man. Jeez.
Jesus. What are we doing here?
Ryder's focused on the deep analytics of this game.
Yeah, he certainly is. Now,
We're all
Marsh,
going with the
Bengalis?
yeah.
Who they?
Who day?
We day.
We day. Yeah. Marsh, we will shoot you if you forget to make your pick tonight.
I'm not going to forget.
Friday?
So,
Yes,
an
tomorrow.
early shot?
Tomorrow.
Wow.
Anthony, I promise you I will not forget.
This happened
I'm
a year
nervous.
ago. This happened a year ago.
Yeah.
That was a year ago. We just established like 30 minutes ago that we don't talk about last year, especially when it comes to the Blues, especially when it comes to the NFL
We miss our
Challenge.
picks. We talk about it, Andrew.
Yeah.
I didn't. I haven't missed a pick yet.
You're like
pick
my
poorly.
kids. I'll do it. Hang on, Dad. Just a minute. I'll do it later. Later comes. I forgot. Dad, I got busy. I get sidetracked.
It's not my fault. It is your fault.
Oh man, that drives me crazy.
I feel like I'm
I forgot. You
didn't
always forget.
being ganged up on right now. Like
It's called tough love, Marshy.
this is unbelievable.
Hey, we love you like a brother, so we're going to treat you that way.
Well, I appreciate
Yep.
that, and I love you, gentlemen.
Like the four brothers. You're the one, brother.
You're the
The
youngest.
one that died.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Hey, we had your back after that.
Yeah,
you know?
after
We took care of business.
Yes,
we
did.
did.
That happened.
All right. NFL Pick'em Challenge. We'll get to our picks next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Salika Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals announced today that FanDuel Sports Network will continue as the television home of the Cardinals. They reached a new multi-year digital rights agreement with FanDuel Sports Network, which for the first time will include a direct-to-consumer streaming option for the fans within the extensive Cardinals TV territory. We talked about that. We also just talked with Chris Kerber about your St. Louis Blues. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Schaefer Door Company 101 mobile app. It's free, so go check it out. You'll find all of our full shows and interviews there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Blues take on the Utah Hockey Club tonight. You can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We also have Thursday Night Football. It's the Ravens and the Bengals, and we're going to do our NFL Week 10 Pick'em Challenge next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Salika Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Pick'em Challenge on 101 ESPN.
Refreshed by Bud Light.
Well, you sure know how to pick 'em.
Time for our 101 ESPN Fast Lane and Rizzuto Show Pick'em Challenge, refreshed by Bud Light. Gentlemen, we've dropped 2 straight weeks. I don't think there's any reason.
Charity.
We didn't drop. We
beat ourselves.
No. We did this intentionally. We got to give,
It's getting kind of boring.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
It's entertainment.
Can't have it
Not
over
entertained.
in 9 weeks. So you got to give a little more,
Yeah, sure.
Charity.
They feel better now, right?
I think they feel somewhat better, yeah. So can we get back to beating the snot out of them?
Sure.
All right.
I'm good with that.
Good.
Let's do it.
All right, gentlemen. Tonight, Ravens, Bengals. Even though this is a divisional game, even though I do think that Cincinnati's going to give them another game, they did so in Week 5. Again, they had led the entire game up until overtime. Baltimore forced overtime, and then they wound up winning it.
That was a crazy game.
That was. Derrick Henry honestly, Cincinnati was kind of containing him until that 51-yard run in overtime. Yeah. But even though I see this being a close game, I still think the Ravens pull this one out. It's too much firepower on the other side. And I still trust Baltimore's defense more so than I do Cincinnati. So give me the Ravens. Jamie?
Oh, yeah, I've got the Ravens in this one.
Kerry?
No doubt.
Ravens. The Bengals won that game. That final drive of overtime or going into overtime, Lamar Jackson fumbled the ball. The Bengals were able to pick it up, and then they kicked the field goal. Then the Ravens lost the coin toss, and the Baltimore and then Bengals went down and missed the field goal, I think. And then the Baltimore Ravens went down and scored. So it was I don't think you have as many mishaps as Baltimore had in that first game. They're playing better offensively. They still stink on the back end, but I think they're the better team.
I did make my picks.
Good job.
Nice.
Boy,
Good.
Marshy.
Good job, Ryder. Thank you.
Mike Ryder went with the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
He picked the Ravens for me, so give me the Ravens.
Call your shot. What underdog do you guys like this week? Doesn't have to be a big underdog. Just got to be a Vegas underdog.
Well, I mean, you know what I like.
I do too.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl. Here we go. Yeah.
Not unless they buy a ticket.
Nah.
Wow.
Jamie, I don't like how you talk.
I like the Steelers this week in Washington. Mike Tomlin as an underdog. I'll sign up for that show.
Yeah.
All day long.
No
Every
chance.
day.
No chance. I got the Commanders.
No chance?
No chance. Watch.
Wow.
Damn blowout. Russell's going to throw 2 picks.
Why are we so low on Russell Wilson?
Really? How long have you got?
I'm here for it. He started 2 games. He's completing 63% of his passes. He's got 542 yards in those 2 games. Averaging, he's got 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. he hasn't played. He's played very well, like extremely well.
Mike Tomlin's got a shock collar on him.
We talk. That's
Anytime he goes to throw something,
by any means necessary, whatever you got to do, maybe. But his first, quarter and a half of playing was terrible, and everybody, why is he playing? And then he just has been playing extremely well. The offense is clicking. Yes. Extremely well. He's
played good enough.
He's played extremely well because the offense is much better. No. He has played. He hasn't turned
black and gold has you blind, Kerry.
He has not turned the ball over. The offense is playing extremely well because they're able to run and pass, where before they could only run. They just added Mike Williams. I don't know what he's going to bring, but it gives you somebody else on the opposite side. Well, Anthony, that's usually when he's playing well, and he's not doing that right now. So chances are he's going to be okay. Okay?
All right.
Russell's going to force feed the ball to Williams.
No,
the defense is going to read it, pick him off.
He's going to throw the ball to George Pickens.
No.
All right, so Carey and I have the Steelers upsetting Washington. Small upset. Marsh?
Yeah, I have the Commanders winning that game. I'm surprised that the Jets are the favorite against the Cardinals, and it's at State Farm Stadium. Jets are -2 to win that game. Give me the Cardinals as my upset in that one. I'm sure you guys also have the same thing.
Yes.
I do.
I'm not taking the Jets.
The Cardinals? Yeah, I got the Cardinals as well.
Jamie, do you have an upset? I guess that's your upset.
I mean, that would technically be it. The only other one that I could see happening, but I didn't pick it that way, being honest, I could see the Dolphins beating the Rams. But I did pick the Rams.
I got another upset.
Colts.
He's going to try and fire back at me.
Well, no, that is one, but it's not the Colts.
Okay. I got it. I know what it is.
Do tell.
Patriots over the Bears.
Hell
no.
Hell no.
Bears are at home.
Yeah, they're undefeated at home.
Yeah.
Where are you going with your upset?
You know where I'm going. Anthony's favorite team.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I don't think the Saints. It is a divisional game.
The Broncos.
I do think it's a divisional game,
Broncos.
But I think the Saints are they've kind of given up.
I'm not talking about the Saints. I'm talking about your favorite team.
They traded. Me too. They traded Marshawn Lattimore. They're not my favorite team.
The Chiefs are your favorite team.
The Falcons are my favorite team
today.
Since Dion. No, since Dion.
Well, the Chiefs are your playoff favorite team. How about that?
Not my playoff favorite team.
You sure?
Jamie, you tell him.
Oh, Anthony, it's not his favorite team until the bye week before Super Bowl.
Thank you.
And then all of a sudden he's painting his face red and yellow.
Well, I think the Broncos have a chance.
His playoff favorite team is the 49ers. And then once it gets to the Super Bowl, he then goes to the Chiefs.
That's interesting.
Yeah, NFC is the 49ers, AFC is the Ravens, and then once the Super Bowl hits and the Chiefs are, they have like an automatic into the Super Bowl, it seems like these days. That's when you go with the,
I can see
you know what, man? I can't
go
bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I think, Marsh, you're right. You're right about that. You know what's funny? That you said that earlier today. I go, the 49ers are going to get healthy at some point. And they're going to make a run in the playoffs, and nobody's going to see it coming. I had that thought independent of what you just said. So I think you're right, Marsh.
I know you, Anthony.
You do. You've worked with me long enough.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts? You don't actually believe Denver over KC, do you?
I think they have a chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
All right. Lions over Houston. Right. I mean, if you can't beat the Jets, I'm not going to pick you against the Lions.
Yeah, the Texans. I don't know what they got going on, man.
That's
Lions
just a goofy team.
Too.
Yeah.
Do you guys give any chance to Carolina in London on Sunday against the Giants?
Twice.
I thought about it.
I don't think it's going to happen, but that's a game where the Giants like clobber them, and everybody's like, the Giants team's they're terrible.
This is a battle for the first overall draft pick.
Yeah.
Why? So the NFL, they're trying to bring American football overseas. Why do they continue to give those people over there the worst matchups?
Because they know they're gonna go anyways.
Oh my gosh.
and I mean, I don't know if you're. I guess I don't know. That's a very good question.
What was the last good matchup that you saw?
You saw the opening game.
The Vikings,
the Eagles, and the
that wasn't in London
Packers.
though. That was in Brazil.
But it was overseas. Like it's not.
Well, this one's
not,
in Munich.
It's
so.
not. In
this one's in Germany. Yeah.
So I mean, You're not in the States.
Yeah.
But if they don't follow the NFL typically, but they just like the NFL
They don't
game,
care.
then
I don't know.
they don't know, right?
They don't know what they're watching.
Right.
I think they know what they're watching.
Well, I'm sure there's some NFL fans over there.
3 points. We haven't seen 3 points in 3 games.
But if if the English Premier League came over and they gave us the 2 crap teams in that, like, it's still
people would show up.
It's still
Would we know?
people would come.
People would
Ray.
show
I
up.
wouldn't, but some people would.
People would still
Yeah.
show up.
It would still be a higher level of what than
Yeah.
What? The what?
than
What, Anthony?
the non-city teams, you know.
He can't help himself.
Than the MLS. Come on. They're laughing at us, and you know it.
Just wanted to hear you say it.
I'll say it. I don't care. All right. Time for Jamie's 477 keys to victory tonight for the Blues.
get
Really
done.
only needs one, though, because the Blues are going to win this
You
thing.
need that many keys, you probably are.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You just need that. You need one.
Oh, okay. A few.
Blues are going to take these guys behind the woodshed. And if they do lose, it's because the Blues beat themselves. We'll explain why next on 101 ESPN.
Are you suffering from ED or PE? Paramount Men's Medical Center can help. Paramount Men's
Before Jamie Rivers gets out of here, he's got to give us the keys to victory tonight for the Blues versus the Utah Hockey Club. Jamie, without further ado.
Well, in honor of you, Anthony, the first key of the game is good first period. Yeah.
Nice.
Good first period. Good start to the game.
Yeah, which they will have.
Clearly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, they got to get it off to a good start here. You are playing a team that has been struggling here lately. You want to give them a reason to struggle again for another night. Don't want to give them any life whatsoever. So that would be the first key. Second key to the game, keep Clayton Keller off the scoreboard. He has been a Blues killer in his career so far. Obviously, he's going to be motivated. He's back in his home area, lots of friends, family, all that stuff be at the game. He'll be looking to perform very well. You got to do your best as a Blues team to keep him off the score sheet, discourage him from scoring. Play physical. I've said it now for 3 games in a row. The physicality is starting to matter. It's looking like it's making a difference. Players are involved physically. They're blocking shots. They're clearing out the front of the net. They're getting to the front of the net. And the result has been 2 wins in a row, hopefully 3 tonight. So keep that physicality going. Fourth one for me, and the last one is, actually I got 2 more. The second to last one is, protect the goaltender tonight. Joel Hofer had a rough one in Ottawa. Certainly not the start he wanted to have. Tonight, play hard inside the dots. Keep the puck outside. Let your goalie see the puck. Let him get into a rhythm. Don't be giving up those high-danger opportunities early in the game to where your goalie can't find his groove out there. And the last one is special teams. Keep winning special teams battles. Penalty kill's been good here recently. Power play still needs a boost. So hopefully the power play can get on the board as well. Those are my keys to the game.
Jamie, well done. Excellent work.
Thank you.
Let's light that lamp.
When a couple of guys can really shoot the puck.
Shoot! I must confess you scored first.
Well, who was the first person?
Breakaway! Shoots! Score! We got hockey to learn.
All right, Marsh, what do we got for updated standings?
Yeah, nothing's really changed. 3-2, 0-0.
Who's got the 3?
I do.
Who's got the 2?
Jamie does.
Okay, and who's got the 0s?
You and Carey.
Okay, all right. All right, so Carey and I got some work to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Give me, and again, I think this guy is a game time decision, but I don't care.
Piece of crap.
This guy's going to come back and score tonight because he's a hockey player. Give me Dylan Holloway.
Okay.
That's where I was going to go, too.
Really?
Yep. Screw you, Marsh. All right.
Wow, that wasn't very nice.
No, it wasn't intended to be nice, actually.
That makes sense.
It wasn't nice what he did either.
You're right. See, Kerry, thank you for noticing.
Well, if you wanted to pick first, you should probably get in first place.
Exactly, and that's where I'm going to be after Jake Neighbors scores tonight.
Wow.
Oh, did that upset you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm glad Marshy did what he did now.
Oh, you're that guy. Okay.
So, Anthony, who do you want?
Definitely that guy.
Okay. I'll remember.
Holy smokes. I want Carey to go first.
Okay. I think Carey might pick your guy.
Yeah, give me
He
Braden
doesn't know who he's
Shin.
picking yet.
I don't know who I'm picking yet. Who do you want?
Shin.
You want Braden Shen, do you?
10.
I'm looking at a guy that's going to score definitely tonight. There's no doubt about that. And that is going to be,
I don't know if that's a player.
That's going to be Nathan Walker.
Oh.
I like it, the little Aussie.
Yeah, Nathan Walker's going to score tonight.
I like it.
Might even score 2, but
That'd be nice.
Who's counting?
just go with
That'd be
one
fun
tonight.
for you, Anthony.
Nathan Walker, old NW, old 26.
All right.
Jamie,
Yeah.
we'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
Yes, you will.
Have
Do you
a
want my
good-
bet to board?
Yeah.
No, we'll pick it for you.
Well, you guys did a heck of a job yesterday. I
thought you'd
appreciate
like
that.
that.
Bet to board tonight is simple. It sits right now at minus 150. Ottawa on the money line over the Islanders.
They disappointed you the other night.
They did, which is why I called them, talked to them.
Did
to
you?
Be different.
Yeah.
Yep.
Called Brady.
I did. I went right to the
Tom?
top of the food chain.
I don't blame you on that one.
Tom
Not one
Brady?
bit. No, Brady Kachuk.
Oh, Brady Kachuk. Now, if
Yeah.
Tom Brady played for it. By the way, did you guys see Tom Brady skating on the ice?
No.
I didn't see that.
So Ty Domi put out a video of Tom Brady, like, day one skating, and he's got the little kid thing, and he's all in full gear, and he's like, then he starts to motor a little bit. Then he's not holding on to anything. He's got the stick, and he's stick handling. I was like, look at this guy. He's 49 years old. He's going to come out and play hockey now.
Probably.
Yeah, and be good at it.
Yeah. Yep.
Jerk.
Dominate it. All right, Jamie, see you, buddy.
See you guys.
Blues tonight versus the Utah Hockey Club. We've got the Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN. All month long, you can take a look at Auto Centers Nissan and AutoCentersNissan.com because they got the Black Friday event, and it goes through December 2nd. Low finance rates available right now, like 0% APR on Pathfinders and Rogues, 0.9% APR on Frontier, plus no payments for 3 months available on select new Nissans as well. If you're looking for something even more affordable, check out the brand new Nissan Kicks that are priced around $20,000 and brand new Nissan Sentras, which are priced right around $23,000, and they've got financing available as well for all credit types. If you're a first-time borrower, don't worry. They can finance a vehicle for you at Auto Centers Nissan. If you're somebody with some credit challenges, maybe you got some debt that you need to clear up, but you still need a vehicle and you need a reliable vehicle, they will find a way at Auto Centers Nissan to finance the vehicle for you. With over 700 new and used vehicles all in one location, we're talking about the largest and best used selection in St. Louis. You're bound to find the perfect vehicle to match your lifestyle and your budget. Eligible vehicles come with the great financing deals that they have going on right now at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. Check them out online at AutoCentersNissan.com.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
Time for the Gauntlet here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 401. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Andrew Marsh and Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome Mark into the program. What's up, Mark?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
We're doing great, man. Thanks for asking. We appreciate you listening, and we appreciate you playing. Would you like to take on Marsh, Kerry, or me today in the Gauntlet?
Well, I got to tell you, after hearing yesterday's stats, I feel for you, Anthony. I'm going to try to come after you today.
Hey. Okay, all right, Mark. Good luck to you, kid.
Mark Anthony.
You too, bud.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah. See what I did there? All right, Mark.
I'm here.
Anthony is heading out to the Cone of Silence. You know how this goes. Tell Marcia to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Marsh.
Is there a category you're hoping for, or would you prefer to remain silent?
Nah, anything but cornhole.
Well, we don't have that on there, so what do you got?
Oh, man, it's cornhole today. No, I'm kidding. It's baseball.
All right.
on.
Marshy is giving me the launch codes, and we'll be ready to go. You know how this goes. You answer it correctly without the options, you get 2 points. You answer it correctly with the options, you get 1 point. And if you answer incorrectly, you get 0. Are you ready to roll?
Let's go, man. Ring the bell.
All right, here we go. The Brewers' Pobo, Matt Arnold, has been named Major League Baseball's Executive of the Year. Arnold joined the organization in 2015 when Milwaukee fielded a fourth-place team with just one 10-game winner in its rotation. Name that pitcher.
What year was that?
2014. I'm sorry.
2014?
No, excuse me, 2015.
2015?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna need the options on that.
Is it Kyle Loesch, Jimmy Nelson, or Mike Fears?
2014. Let's go Mike Fears.
Final answer?
Final answer, I'm sorry.
Question number 2. Happy birthday to former All-Star outfielder Johnny Damon. How many World Series titles did the Caveman win?
Well, I know he won with Boston. I'm going to go with shoot from the hip and go with 2.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Awesome.
Question number 3. The Braves have exercised Marcell Ozuna's $16 million option for the 2025 season. With whom did the Big Bear make his debut in 2013?
That'd be the Miami Marlins or Florida Marlins. Final answer.
Question number 4. On July 21st, 2004, then Boston outfielder Manny Ramirez cut off teammate Johnny Damon's relay throw, leading to an inside-the-park home run by David Newhan. Where did this infamous moment occur? We're looking for the stadium.
Oh, man, I remember that play. I'm going to need the options on that one.
Options are Camden Yards, Fenway Park, or Yankee Stadium.
I'm going to have, this is a guess, I'm going to say it was Fenway. Final answer.
Right. All right. Get Anthony back in here. Did you wave him in? All right, Mark, how you feel?
Not great.
Not great. Well, you know, Anthony is, baseball is his sport. You know, he loves baseball, and so...
Yeah, me too.
He loves football. He loves hockey. He doesn't love random as much, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I don't want random. Right.
Anthony,
is that what we got?
How's the cone of silence?
It was good. Action Jackson's in there. Mike Ryder in there.
All right, Anthony, your category is not random.
Good.
It is baseball.
All right.
Marshy.
I like baseball.
Pack a lunch.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Brewers Pobo, Matt Arnold. Matt Arnold has been named Major League Baseball's Executive of the Year. Arnold joined the organization in 2015 when Milwaukee fielded a fourth-place team with just one 10-game winner in its rotation. Name that pitcher.
In what year?
2015.
2015. Wow. Oh, man. I'll need the options on this.
Is it Kyle Loesch, Jimmy Nelson, or Mike Fiers?
Wasn't Loesch? No. There's no way it was Mike Fiers. It's got to be Jimmy Nelson. Jimmy Nelson, final answer.
Question number 2. Happy birthday to former All-Star outfielder Johnny Damon. How many World Series titles did the Caveman win?
Well, he won in 2004. Unfortunately, for us here in St. Louis. And he won. Was he still a member of the Red Sox in 2006? Or did he go to the Yankees for that one? Or not 2006, excuse me, 2007, because obviously the Cardinals won in 2006. All right, so Damon definitely won in 2004. and he was either still with the Red Sox with 7, but I thought he moved on from that and went to the Yankees. So that in that case, he would have won in 9. It's either 2 or 3. And I don't think he was with that Red Sox team in 2007. So I'll go with 2. Final answer. I think he went with the Red Sox in 04 and the Yankees in 09.
The Braves have exercised Marcell Ozuna's $16 million option for the 2025 season. With whom did the Big Bear make his debut in 2013?
I mean, I think he was with the Marlins. That was the only other team he was with before the Cardinals. And if he was with somebody else, I don't think he debuted. So maybe I'm simplifying this too much, but I'll go with the Miami Marlins. Final answer.
Question number 4. On July 21st, 2004, then Boston outfielder Manny Ramirez cut off teammate Johnny Damon's relay throw, leading to an inside-the-park home run by David Nuhan. Where did this infamous moment occur? Looking for the stadium.
I don't think it'd be Fenway if you're asking this question, so I'll take the options.
Options are Camden Yards, Fenway Park, or Yankee Stadium.
I don't think it was Yankee Stadium, and Fenway seems too obvious. So I guess I'll go with Camden Yards in Baltimore. Final answer.
All right. That's a doozy. Here we go. It's going to be... All right, let's start with question number 2.
I don't like the way you're talking.
Oh, man, that's a lot very stressful here. Happy birthday to former All-Star outfielder Johnny Damon. How many World Series titles did the Caveman win? Mark, you said 2. Anthony, you said 2. The correct answer is... It is 2.
Oh, nice.
But neither of you needed the options.
Oh,
Good
wow.
job.
Nice job, Mark.
Question. Let's go to the third question. The Braves have exercised Marcell Ozuna's $16 million option for the 2025 season. With whom did the Big Bear make his debut? Mark, you said the Marlins. Anthony, you also said the Marlins. Correct answer is...
It is the Marlins.
Neither of you needed the options for that one either.
Damn, Mark.
It is
Nice job.
4-4. Let's go to question number 1. Brewers Pro Bowl Matt Arnold has been named Major League Baseball's Executive of the Year. Arnold joined the organization in 2015 when Milwaukee fielded a 4th-place team with just one 10-game winner in its rotation. Name that pitcher. With the options, Mark, you took Mike Fiers. Also with the options, Anthony, you took Jimmy Nelson. The correct answer is...
It's Jimmy Nelson.
We have a 1-point lead for Anthony Stalter.
Oof.
Final question. On July 21st, 2004, the Boston outfielder Manny Ramirez cut off teammate Johnny Damon's relay throw, leading to an inside-the-park home run by David Newman. Where did this infamous moment occur? Anthony, you said, can't be Fenway Park. That's too obvious.
Uh-oh.
I'm going with Camden Yards. Mark, you took the options and you said, I feel like it's Fenway. If it's Fenway, we got a walk-off. If it's Camden, Anthony wins by 2. If it's Yankee Stadium, Anthony wins by 1. Mark.
Walk it off.
It is Fenway. Good job, Mark.
Wow. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a tie-breaking question, Mark, how this will go.
I hate these.
You will both hear the question. Anthony will write his answer down first and then show us. Don't say anything, and then you tell us what your answer is, and we will give you, we'll let you know who wins. Who's closest to the pin?
Sounds good.
All right, Marcy, go ahead.
The question is, how many career home runs did Johnny Damon have?
How many career home runs did Johnny Damon have?
In his 18-year career, how many career home runs did he have?
Anthony's going to give his answer first, and then you'll go immediately after that, Mark.
I hate these.
What do you have, Anthony? Okay. What do you have, Mark?
Well, did you say 18-year career?
18 years.
Okay, I'll say, let's see, I'm going to say 148.
Oh, I don't think we need.
How many?
He said 148. Marshy? Mark.
You have chosen wisely.
The correct answer was 235.
Man.
You think Johnny Damon is a...
18 years. I know he wasn't a home run hitter, but figured 18 years. Nice job, Mark.
Good job, Mark.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Well,
we'll call you back tomorrow.
We'll have you back on tomorrow.
Yep.
I'll be waiting for the phone call. I'm ready.
Nice job, Mark.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. I said 569, by the way. I overshot. I figured 18 years. A couple of short porches, maybe, Fenway and Yankee Stadium.
I believe I could be wrong. Could be wrong on this one, but Camden Yards, I think, is where Manny Ramirez caught the ball, jumped up into the stands, high-fived a fan, and then threw it back in. I think that might have been Camden Yards. Maybe that's what you were thinking of.
I just overthought the Fenway thing. Short porch there. Not even a short porch. It's got the green monster. That kind of threw me off. So, but hey, Mark earned that one because he got all of them right except for one, right?
Yep, missed the first one, but all of the other ones he got right.
Nice job.
Yeah, did well.
It was Camden Yards where he high-fived the fan.
Did he? Okay.
It's a good job by both of you guys.
Well, thanks.
Yeah,
I overshot that.
You can overshoot back here.
Yeah, I'm gonna head to the. I deserved it. I'm gonna head to the whatchamacallit, penalty box. The penalty box right now. I hate the penalty box. I do. I hate that penalty box so much.
Over there.
But you know what? It's a punishment for losing. So that's what it should be, an absolute punishment. All right, we're going to have What's Trending with Marsh next on 101 ESPN.
time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, who currently sits in the penalty box, and Kerry Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time
Kerry.
for
Hey, Anthony.
What's Trending.
Hey, Marsh.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey.
Can you hear us okay?
No.
Not at all. You can't hear nothing back there.
It's awful. We talked about this when the NBA season began.
We did?
Bronny James. It looks like he has been assigned to their G League affiliate. He will be on the Lakers roster for Friday's game against the 76ers. Then he'll rejoin South Bay. That is according to sources. The organization's current plan is for Bronny to play in only G League home games as he shuttles between the Lakers and South Bay, according to sources. The right move for young Bronny James.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no disrespect. I think it's an opportunity for him to play a lot and, get better and develop his game. And, you are not able to do that at the level. I think he played like 5 minutes a couple of nights ago or last night. You're not able to do that. We're not getting consistent minutes every single night. So, you were there. You were drafted there. Whatever people feel about him being drafted there, he's there. And so now he has to earn his way to stay on the roster, and I think that's the best way to go about it. You had your moment where you and your father got to play at the same time. That was really cool, really special moment. But if your aspirations are to be in the NBA for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you got to continuously get better, and hopefully this does allow him to do that.
Not sure why this college football program is making this move.
He's not going to say anything.
No, I mean, well said. Yeah. I don't think the kid should have been drafted.
I thought you were just going to have a moment of silence back there.
No, you're right. I mean, I don't think he should have been drafted. I think a lot of people feel that way. I don't think he was good enough. He's on the team because his dad's LeBron James.
Well, yeah.
You know that. I know that.
The world knows
Bronny
that.
knows that.
Yeah. I had to take it.
So, hey, great. But you drafted him, so you might as well do right by the kid and make him play in a developmental league because that's what he needs to do. He needs to develop. This isn't St. Louis, the Cardinals, where you just say, hey, you got to play good now.
You go.
We're not going to develop
We drafted you. You're not ready? What do you mean? It's dumb.
We did our part.
We drafted you.
Actually, I feel like they are doing what the Cardinals are doing. They're sending them up and then bringing them back.
Yeah, that's true.
Sending them down and then bringing them back up and then sending them down and then bringing them back up.
You know what, Marsh, I can't hear too well, but from what I did hear from that, I agree with you.
Great. We'll see if you agree with what Florida is doing. They are going to have Billy Napier continue to be the head coach of Florida, the Gators. I wonder what Gator thinks about that from the Snake Pit.
They played a good game. I believe their last game was a really good game. They almost came out
Georgia
with the W.
Yeah, they did. They played Georgia tough.
hard.
Did they play Tennessee tough, too? They played another SEC opponent.
They lost to Tennessee, tough. I think, was it overtime? Yeah, they lost to Tennessee in overtime at Tennessee.
Yeah, there you go.
They played Georgia really well last week. The score is not indicative of it because Georgia kind of pulled away there late. But
and their quarterback was injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2 now.
How long has Billy Napier been there?
Oh, some would say too long.
Sure.
I don't know. How long has he been?
I realize the expectations are very high. I get it, but when it comes to, at some point as an organization,
I was gonna say 3 years,
third season.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yep.
As a program, I think you want, if you hired this guy thinking and believing that he was going to be the one that's going to turn things around, then let him turn things around.
I think it's hard at certain programs. In his 3 years, he's gone 6-7, 5-7, and now they're sitting at 4-4. They went to one bowl game, but you're at the University of Florida. Like, the expectations are national championships. Like, there are, it may be unfair, but there are some places that you go that have had the history of being successful. You can't be a below 500 team. And right now, I agree with you, though. They're giving him more time to kind of figure things out. 3 years is not enough time to change over the roster, to get the players in.
It's not even his guys yet.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's now starting to become his guys.
So you still got, I think another year. Hopefully, for his sake, they have a winning record to end this year. make it to another bowl game, and then in that fourth year, you can really have your system implemented with the players that you need to have.
Where was he before? Was he Memphis?
Louisiana.
Okay.
Louisiana.
You hire a guy to be a program builder, and then you only give him 3 years, even though it's Florida. Like, everything has changed in college football. You've got NIL, you've got you got the transfer portal. I think we all agree that there are guys that can coach, but when you get to a program, you're trying to figure out what the recruiting landscape is. I would give him some time. And I'm sure Gator fans, they don't want to hear that, but I'd be patient.
Just be patient, Anthony.
Not with the Cardinals, but
you be patient. The Cardinals. Glasses at.
You're going to put the Cardinal glasses on?
I'm a Cardinal fan.
Oh, since when?
I love the Cardinals. Since I was born.
That's not what you've been saying the last 2 weeks.
I reserve the right.
You've been rocking those crap Dodger glasses.
To root for winners. I reserve that right. I can root for a winner. The Dodgers, go Dodger.
Whatever. This is for all those Blues fans out there listening right now. The road to the Discover NHL Winter Classic, presented by Enterprise, docuseries returns Wednesday, December 4th, and will chronicle your Blues and the Chicago Blackhawks leading up to the upcoming Winter Classic at Wrigley Field, and you can watch that on TNT in the United States. Like I said, it will return December 4th, and if you're in Canada, you can watch it on Sportsnet, and that will be December 5th. So this is really cool. We talked about the Amazon series and how it chronicles some of the players and, highlighting things that they go through at the NHL level, and a really fascinating docuseries. And so we'll be able to see that with our Blues and see how their season progresses leading up to the Winter Classic.
That is really cool. What network?
So here in the States, it is TNT.
Okay.
But in Canada, Sportsnet.
I think that's going to be great. Recently I've been watching that Yankees Red Sox, the comeback on Netflix.
Yeah,
it's a 3-part series.
Is that better than the 30 for 30?
I don't know if I saw the 30 for 30, but this Netflix series is great, and I love the fact that they got both sides here. They're not just talking to the Red Sox players and like Theo Epstein's in it, but they're also talking to the Yankees guys. Roger Clemens is in it, and Gary Sheffield is in it. I like having that, both perspective, because you get a better sense of what was going on in 04.
Yeah,
I think they did a great job in one whole episode talking about 03 and what happened in 03. That was the Aaron Bleepin Boone Game 7. It's really well done. So I hope TNT, and I'm sure they will, I hope TNT showcases the story, gets people, they've got good storylines and all that. I think they'll do a great job. But I love these docuseries. There's not many that I've seen that I'm like, man, that just fell flat. Ironically, the Florida Gator one fell flat.
I didn't bother watching
that one.
That wound up being like just a fluff piece for the Gators teams that year, for those years. But anyways,
Urban Meyer.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Kerber, you want to talk about some of the troubles you had?
Nah,
we're good.
Nope. No, thanks.
No.
You mentioned the Red Sox, the docuseries that just came out not too long ago. Dave Roberts was talking about how he was essentially throwing the kitchen sink at the Yankees in Game 5 because he was scared to go back to LA for a Game 6. And I was like, why would you have like the best team on the planet right now. Why would you be scared? But he was a part of that Red Sox team in 04, and he knows what that feeling's like when you start to get a little bit of momentum, and so he didn't want to be on the other side of that, especially in the World Series.
Yeah, I think that's really neat. Yeah, he was a part. He was a part of that. He stole the base that got that comeback rolling in Game 4. So yeah.
Thanks, Flashback Deuce. Thought you were talking about the documentary for the Red Sox that had Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon in it.
I hate that.
You hated that documentary? Why'd you hate that one?
Yeah.
It's about the comeback, right? They had a comeback in that one. They were down 0-3.
And in their relationship, too.
Heck of a comeback, Anthony. What are you talking about?
I think Jimmy Fallon's goofy.
And not in a good way?
Not in a good way. Like, obviously, the guy's got talent. So I don't want to call him a no-talent hack, you know?
He's no Dave Matthews Band.
No, who is, though? Who is? All right, we've got the Sports Six-Pack coming up next. So if you've got a question for us, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Again, 314-399-9646. That's the Air Comfort Service text line. Sports Six-Pack next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cards announced today that FanDuel Sports Network will continue as the television home of the Cardinals. They've reached a new multi-year digital rights agreement with FanDuel Sports Network, which for the first time will include a direct-to-consumer streaming option for fans within the extensive Cardinals TV territory. You can catch the Blues tonight as they take on the Utah Hockey Club. Listen right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. You'll hear Chris Kerber on the call. And we talked to him earlier today. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the Schaefer Door Company 101 free mobile app. Again, that's free. Check it out. Go to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so get your questions in to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Time for our Sports Six-Pack. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you have any questions, send it there. Marsh, what do we got?
Question number 1.
We'll start off with the water boy. Is Wilson Contreras an all-star first baseman? Obviously, Jamie gave us those numbers earlier in the show.
Yeah.
From a hitting standpoint, pretty good.
Yeah.
If you were to be a first baseman last season.
Numbers-wise, offensively, sure. But when you're looking at National League first baseman, you've got Freddie Freeman.
He's pretty good.
Yep.
What has he done?
You've got Bryce Harper.
He's pretty good, too.
You've got, who else? Matt Olson. Olson, Freeman, Harper.
Contreras.
Bellinger.
Contreras.
Contreras.
Pretty good players.
Yeah.
Christian Walker.
Christian Walker's a good one.
Yeah, but those guys, they might be in the American League next year. You never know.
Big, strong guy in Pete Alonso.
Could be a Yankee if they don't get Juan Soto.
What?
Well, Juan Soto's going to the Dodgers. They're moving Mookie Betts to shortstop or second base.
Yeah, that's a fact.
They are making space for alien to land in right field.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to say no. I don't think he's an all-star. I think there's too many top first basemen in the National League.
You know what? I say yes. He's going to play.
He's going to outplay Matt Olson.
I mean, he
Pete Alonso.
I will say this. If Wilson stays healthy,
Freddie Freeman.
He'd have been the best player on this team last
Christian
year.
Walker.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's an alien landing in right field.
Yeah, his name's Juan Soto.
Oh, I thought the aliens landed in like shallow center field. That's where they landed when they gave Michael Jordan back to this planet. In the movie,
they did.
The documentary. Pardon me,
yeah,
Space Jam, which Anthony has yet to see.
You haven't seen Space Jam?
No.
That is pretty damn. That's as bad as somebody saying they've never seen Top Gun. Oh wait.
No, he's seen it.
I saw enough of Top Gun.
Didn't see
I got the premise. I know what it's about.
Guys flying planes, huh?
Guys flying planes.
Yeah.
Guys really appreciating other guys flying planes. I saw it.
You never seen Space Jam?
I never saw Space Jam.
Why? You're a Jordan fan. You're from Chicago.
I don't know why I'd see it, though. You know?
Why wouldn't you? It came out in what year? 93? 95?
Came out in the 90s.
And you were born and raised in Chicago, New York.
Ish. Detroit. No, I had no interest. I had no interest in seeing it.
Wow.
Yeah, cartoons and real actors and basketball players mingling. Yeah, it's just not.
They stole their powers. They couldn't hoop no more.
Yeah, well, it's just when you seen one Space Jam, you've seen them all. You know,
it was only one at the time. Okay.
Just a damn shame. That's what that is.
That is.
It's a real shame.
It's a shame for a kid that grew up in the 90s to not have seen Space Jam.
Hey, I saw a lot of great 90s flicks. Jurassic Park. 7.
Did 7 come out in 95?
Titanic. 7.
Space Jam.
Most of the great Forrest Gump. Most of the great movies came out in the 90s. Pulp Fiction.
No Space Jam, though.
Apollo 13. A League of Their Own.
Question number 2.
Okay, speaking of sports movies or just movies in general, from the 217, has there been a good baseball movie since Moneyball? Any good sports movies
The
since
Program.
Oh,
Actually, I don't know if The Program was in the 90s.
That was in the 90s.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. I was
Are you sure it wasn't like 89?
No, I was in high school. We watched it every
93
day.
Thank you, Splashback Deuce.
During
the greatest movie.
We watched it every day between practices for training camp.
Of course you
2
did.
days.
Yeah. Sorry.
Every day.
Sorry, Marsh. Go ahead.
No, sorry.
My bad.
Just has there been a good baseball movie since Moneyball? Have there been really any good sports movies since? I was thinking about this when I was reading in the break. There haven't been really any good sports movies lately.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, hasn't it?
Been a while.
Varsity Blues. Also in the 90s.
No good sports movies?
No. I love Friday Night Lights, a TV show, but that's been a hot minute too. And that was a TV show, not a movie.
Remember the Titans has what year did you say? Since what year?
Moneyball.
Since Moneyball.
What year
Was
did Moneyball
2000 something?
Like 2010s. Like it's been a minute.
No, it wasn't 2010, was it?
Like in the 2010s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
maybe. You might be right.
I'm going to do everybody a favor
I think
here.
it was
Just look this up.
2011.
It was 2011.
You saw Iron Claw. You didn't like that?
I just,
come on.
You know,
I'm disappointed.
I'm thinking like the 4 major sports.
So so now wrestling's not good enough for you. Okay.
Whoa.
Nah, you said it. I didn't. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Whoa.
No, you said it.
Whoa.
You said it. I tried to.
John said, was Moneyball considered a good sports movie? What about Draft Day?
I've never seen Draft Day.
It's so bad.
I've never seen it.
We're getting 42. That was a great
42,
movie.
yes.
That was a great
That was a
movie.
good movie.
And that had to come out. That came out before or later than Moneyball.
Yes.
Let me ask you this: with the amount of docuseries on sports that are coming out, has that like taken away from
the movies?
Like there being a good sports movie?
Maybe, yeah, because we're actually getting footage of people that actually know how to play the game and not actors that.
Yeah, like Splashback Deuce noted the American Underdog.
That not good either? Was it bad?
I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Is it
I will say
is
this.
it a hot mess?
I have so much. I've never seen it. I have a lot of problems watching football movies that aren't really football movies. Like they're football movies, but they're not played by football players.
Yeah.
Like the scenes are like, oh God, that makes me want to puke. Like watching people throw a ball or block a sled, and you're like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what is that?
Did you see any of the clips of the Aaron Hernandez TV show?
That is so
Have you
bad.
seen the one where he catches a pass and he jukes out a safety and then runs to the end zone?
It looks like
he does the like he's like digging a grave like as a celebration. It's like
there should be a prerequisite that the people that like you should have had to have run at some point. Like, like I watch people run. I'm
you
like,
didn't play football. Okay, have you run
ran in your life ever? Let me see you run.
How about the actor that plays Bill Belichick?
Oh man, I saw some of those clips. There are some. He got some of the mannerisms down pretty good.
Yeah,
the voice is knocked there.
The guy that played Gronk was spot on. The one scene that I saw.
Yeah,
that was good.
We've all seen like the same clips, I think.
Yeah,
and that one was pretty good. They couldn't have found a worse Hernandez.
I haven't watched it. I just seen the clips. I can't stomach watching people that's not how that looks, man. At all.
Did you think that, and I think I've asked you this before, did you feel like Any Given Sunday got it somewhat right?
You know what? It was a bit
like sensationalized.
Yeah,
sensationalized.
It was a bit excessive, but I did think like the football parts, some of it, I think a lot of it was really good, but a lot of it was a bit excessive. That's how I used to feel about what TV show was that? Not The Game. Maybe it was The Game. It was another one. Oh, was it Playmakers?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. The one that the NFL basically got canceled on ESPN.
Yeah.
I remember watching that.
The Playmakers, I'm like, I'm not watching this crap.
Yeah.
It was bad.
The football scenes were real bad.
Yes.
All right, so like Any Given Sunday, though, when you used to come to the line of scrimmage and things, I always feel like there's so much trash talking in football movies.
It's not nearly that much pre-snap. Mm-hmm. So like in the program when Alvin Mack is talking and the running back is like, huh? What'd you say? Like never.
Hey man, I never knew your mother.
Never have I had that occur in my life. Like nobody is talking during the play. Like, you saw the Cam and not AJ Hawk. What's the other linebacker? Clay Matthews, the interaction that they had at one point when they were playing. Like that happens. Mm-hmm. But to have a full conversation while the quarterback, that is a long cadence. First of all, it's not that dang on long. So
They're probably offsides. Delay a game.
Delay a game. We've been here for hours, sir. Yeah. No, I didn't. Some of it's weird.
I like the way that Oliver Stone directed Any Given Sunday, the on-field scenes, because at least he tried to make it fast.
Right. Which it should be, because it is. It happens fast. And in some of those scenes, like Jamie Foxx and LL Cool J, they actually fought. So like that one scene where they were fighting, that was real. I guess they just kept the cameras rolling.
They hated each other.
Yeah, they didn't like each other. So it was, you get some parts of it, and you do have teammates fighting. Yeah. Like, that's normal. Not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. It's life.
Yeah. All right, let's carry over our Sports Six Pack next on 101 ESPN. Stalter back with you. My guy Stewie's on the line right now. And Stewie, I always like to call to get an update on the Federal Reserve. What do we need to know?
Anthony, today the Federal Reserve cut the Fed funds rate. That's not mortgage rates, the Fed funds rate. But that's indication that even though inflation isn't going down as much as we'd like it to, the Federal Reserve believe it's going to happen. And this is good for mortgage rates. It dropped back a little bit. But as I told you before, about a month ago, I told everybody go out and refinance now because you never know. Those that waited got hurt because the rates bounced back up. So now we're seeing that decline. Take the advantage. Refinance now. If rates go down later, you can do it again with the bagel loan. No closing costs. Do it now. Don't look back and say, I should have, could have, and I didn't. You know how that goes. It doesn't end well. So make that call and make it happen.
Yeah, don't wait. Don't wait to call Stewie. Make sure that you either call or text him. Reach out to him right now. Take advantage of it. He'll constantly market what the Federal Reserve is doing. He'll constantly market where the market's going. He will. Once you become his client, he will stay on top of things for you. So you don't have to. That's part of the greatness of our guy Stewie here. So give him a call, 314-324-4440. Again, 314-324-4440. Call him, text him, day, night, doesn't matter. That's his personal cell phone number. And if you miss that number, you can always Google the Bagel Loan. Stewie, keep up the great work.
Anthony, have a great night.
Thank you, sir.
NMLS number 226715.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
Time for part two of the Sports Six Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Kerry Davis, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh.
Question number 3.
Interesting question here from the 309. Why would fans purchase the Cardinals streaming service when they can purchase MLB.TV for the same price and have access to every single team?
Because you'll be blacked out for the Cardinals unless you live in, like Florida or something, and you're a Cardinals fan. Then you won't have access to the Cardinals. You'll get blacked out. That game will be unavailable. I think you can listen to maybe the radio streaming, but other than that, you won't have it. That's part of the gripes that a lot of, and rightfully so, that a lot of fans have when it comes to MLB.TV. It should be that you get every game because that's what you're purchasing, but they black out your local team. It's ridiculous. So if you lived in St. Louis and you were a, Texas Rangers fan, you're set. You don't care, right? You get your Rangers plus everybody else except for the Cardinals. You're a Cardinals fan, you get blacked out.
Well, that's ridiculous.
It absolutely is. Amen.
Question number 4.
From the 636, Barry Trotz has threatened to tear down the Predators. Any interest in Ryan O'Reilly if they retained some of his salary?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We're talking about a center, right?
You need one.
Talk about needing a center.
Yeah. You need one of those guys?
I think I would never turn down Ryan O'Reilly. You need a second line center, or you need a center. I should say it just doesn't have to be a second line center. You know his work ethic. He wouldn't be playing big time minutes, I wouldn't think. Yes,
he might be playing big time minutes, especially right now.
Well, maybe right now, but and then it decreases along the way.
Wouldn't he be your second line center?
March, what do you think at this point? I haven't seen a ton of Ryan O'Reilly of late.
I mean, who cares? I'd throw him in there.
Yeah,
it's Ryan O'Reilly. He can do no wrong in this city.
There you go.
Throw him in there.
So yes, especially if the salary, your Nashville's taking on most of the salary. Let's do it.
Mm-mm. Question number 5.
From the 314, with the emergence of Philip Broberg, the new foundation of the Blues defense will be built around Colton Parayko and Philip Broberg for the next 6+ years. Do you agree with that statement?
Say it again, please.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
With the emergence of Philip Broberg, the new foundation of the Blues defense will be built around Colton Parayko and Philip Broberg for the next 6+ years.
Yeah, I think, yes, I agree with that. But even if you expand that out, I think that right now the identity that Doug Armstrong is trying to recreate here with the Blues is through defense. I think he's trying to, emulate the model that Vegas has had defensively over the years. It'd be nice if you still had Alex Pietrangelo, obviously, but if you had oak trees on the blue line or, a strong defensive core, we have seen like that can be the formula, along with excellent goaltending, of course, in the postseason to win it.
Right.
So I think beyond just those two players, I think the Blues are trying to have one of the best blue lines in the NHL.
I agree. I wonder if when he gets back, I was wondering why didn't they put Broberg with Parayko? I understand, chemistry and things like that, but if those are your best two and they're playing extremely well, wouldn't it make sense to put them together, Marshy? Or am I just crazy?
Because I think a lot of people would like to see that, but because they're playing so good, you want to spread them out and have,
just play
that way
together and let them stay on the ice forever.
You don't have your big horses on just one defensive pairing. You would like to kind of spread them out.
Man, just shut it down. 30 minutes a game.
Down. Shut it down now.
Everything's shut down. Half the game, Marshy.
Shut it down.
Dion.
30 minutes.
Whole half of the football field. Shut down.
That's what he said.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
It's your guy, Anthony.
Damn right it is.
Yeah.
Question number 6.
The 6?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
What are we doing?
It took us 2 segments.
Wow.
Hey, either way, we still got to 6.
We did.
Good for us.
Appreciate your tone here, Marsh, but go ahead.
Okay. From the 417. Statistically, Patrick Mahomes is an average quarterback at best.
Oh.
Wow. Just bear with me. If they start missing out on Super Bowls and even lose the division to a team like Denver, if Bo Nix develops, do the Chiefs move on from him?
Oh, what?
No.
Man. No.
You know what Patrick Mahomes does?
Do you need to go into that?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Well, let's respect the fact that the question was sent in and he was asked here on these airwaves.
No.
They're not going to move on from him. You know what Patrick Mahomes does?
What does he do?
He wins games.
Okay.
You know what else he does? He wins Super Bowls. You know what he doesn't care about? Stats. Doesn't care if he throws 2 interceptions, but he leads the team to victory.
Kind of like that guy.
I think, and this is in all sports too. And I try to resist this because I try not to be the, ever become the old man screaming at clouds. But the more that we dive into data and efficiency and analytics and numbers and all this other crap, we get further and further away from what sports are all about.
Just win, baby.
Winning.
And winning championships.
You're trying to win the game, Carey.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to light up the stat sheet Don't talk to me about efficiency, numbers, stats.
Well, that's your. That's what your quarterback, who is in second place in the MVP voting, does.
Who?
Jared Goff.
Wins games?
He wins games too.
No, but he's efficient.
Yeah.
He's efficient when it comes to winning games. For the Detroit Lions.
I don't agree. I think that Patrick Mahomes, I don't think you can always look at the stat sheet and that be the determining factor. Although he is really good statistically as well. I mean, he's won 2 MVPs at this point in his career. Probably will win a few more before his career is over. Probably will win a few more Super Bowls before his career is over. He's at 3 now. Probably get to a couple more. 3 more, 4 more. I don't know. But I don't see if Patrick Mahomes retired right now, he's in the Hall of Fame. Like, that's not somebody that you move on from.
No.
Unless they are like 40 years old and you say, okay, I've seen enough, and you want to keep playing.
No, thank you. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Thank you for the questions here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. When it comes to the veteran reset for our St. Louis Cardinals, does it make much sense to part with some of the veterans like Sonny Gray or Nolan Arenado or some of those? And to me, it all depends. We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
St. Louis looks to be focusing on their youth movement and upgrading their player development system. What that means for the Major League roster is that wins could be on the back burner. Now, the Cardinals are not committing to a full rebuild. They're not tanking, nor do they need to. But they could be pretty active in terms of creating avenues for their young players. What does that mean? It means guys like Ryan Helsley could be on the trading block, had the most saves in baseball last year. The veterans, their marquee players, Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, Nolan Arenado, they all have no trade clauses, but given the right circumstances, could they waive them? These are the things the Cardinals are trying to figure out. So my prediction is St. Louis will be one of the more active teams come December, but not in the ways that we usually expect.
All right, that was Katie Wu. She was on with John Morosi, MLB Tonight, and, her talking about maybe the Cardinals being active when it comes to December, but maybe not in the ways that, we all think. I don't expect guys, Kerry Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. I don't expect the Cardinals to be active in terms of signing anybody to multi-year deals. It doesn't make sense to. That's not where the club is going in right now. I think them committing or recommitting to their development process, that's a must. You have to. You have to get back to that. They have fallen behind. So I think there's two different conversations to be had here. One is about what will the 2025 Cardinals look like. That's one separate conversation from where this team is going to be in the next 3 to 5 years. And the next 3 to 5 years this is going to be a team that's dedicated to drafting, developing, and procuring that talent. And then once those guys do hit, so like Mason Wynn, hopefully Jordan Walker, hopefully Nolan Gorman, whoever, then you can spend your MLB resources, your big league resources on keeping those guys. Mm-hmm. This is a model, Kerry, that works in all sports. If you go to football, it's about drafting, developing. Do you sprinkle in guys from the free agent market or maybe trades? Absolutely, yes. Yeah. But you're never one player away, and I don't think you can jumpstart the process or maybe not jumpstart is the right word. I don't think that you can shortcut the process unless you have unlimited funds and are smart as hell and also develop your own guys as well as the Dodgers do. Yeah. Like if you're not the Dodgers or you're not the Phillies that can continue to outspend the mistakes that they've made in the draft, then you're not going to win. You might have one decent team, but eventually the bill will come due and it's going to sink you. So I think the Cardinals saying, hey, we need to get this right at the drafting and development stage is the right move. Yeah. Full stop. And if you want to talk about the 2025 Cardinals and what that's going to look like, again, I think that's a separate conversation.
I think that going in the direction that they have decided to go is the right direction. I think it's taken a while to get here. Mm-hmm. And if those other players who are under contract or veteran players who do not see this team winning in the next 2 to 3 years and they feel like their career is maybe winding down or they're getting to the point where they want to maximize their potential to win a championship and they want to move on, then you have to take that into consideration. I keep saying it. I just wish they had done this earlier. Like, I think that's the problem for me.
Okay, so Paul, can I throw this out there? Kerry, sorry to cut you off, mm-hmm. but it works. So Paul says it's basically malpractice that they've neglected player development for all these years. 100%, Paul. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Go ahead, Kerry.
No, it is, because if you had been developing those players, then these players that are under contract with no trade clauses would not be looking to go elsewhere because those players that you developed would have been ready to play and play well and have success. And that's the most important thing is, having your younger players and your veteran players playing great at the same time so that the baton is passed on to those younger players who now become the new faces of the franchise, the Jordan Walkers, the Mason Wynns, whichever pitcher you want to pick out of the group. Like, that's how it's passed on, and your team becomes, it doesn't stop. Your organization just turns over with a new group of players. And so I think that's tough to do. Like, it's not easy to have sustained success where the main focal point is no longer there and you got a new group of guys. You look at the Golden State Warriors. They're eventually going to go through that whenever Steph retires. Mm-hmm. We saw it happen now that Tom Brady has retired. It's hard when that one focal point is no longer there. But I think in baseball it might be easier because, you play longer and you can have a sustained career longer. And guys can kind of learn their way through from the older guys. But I just don't think the Cardinals had done a great job up until this point. I do think that what they're doing now is the right decision. And so are you a few years behind? Yeah, but the saying better late than never. And that's where they are now. It's better late than never that they got to this point.
Yeah.
And if those other guys don't want to be here, then you do move on, and hopefully you get something of value in return for making that decision. But we've seen that they tend to hold on to players a little bit too long. Dylan Carlson, I don't know. Like, people where you don't get anything, you're like, the guy you got back in return for Dylan Armstrong, for Dylan Carlson, is no longer on the team in Sean Armstrong.
Yeah.
So I'm happy and excited about what the future could look like. I'm frustrated because it took too long to get to this point.
You know, I want to go back to what you said too, and I want to move the ball forward here. But I want to go back to what you just said there. You're absolutely right. You have to start over. Should it have taken this long? No. Should they have recognized it a long ago? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think what had happened, and this is just, I could be way off. The Cardinals could be listening to this right now and be like, no, that's not what happened. But if they're honest with themselves, there's something happened. Right. Something went haywire. And from the outside looking in, I think some of that attention to detail at the minor league level went away. And I'm not talking about maybe the coaching and whatever. I'm talking about the resources that were provided for those coaches to develop players. Obviously, the technology, it's clear that they're well behind on technology, but it's more so than just technology and having all the fun gadgets. It is about developing the way that the players play, to use the Tony La Russa, motto here, the hard nine. It's the attention to detail. It's knowing from spring training on that you have to play a certain way. The Dan Campbell, you see the video of him telling his players, this is you're all I think about. Yep. Just trust me on this. I have to coach you hard right now so that it pays off in December when we're trying to play meaningful games. If you're not practicing hard and hitting in November and December, you're probably not going to play that way. And that's Dan Campbell's thing.
Or you're going to get to it. You'll get to it, but it'll be, you'll be
punked by somebody else
by that point, and out of the opportunity out of the playoff picture up until that point.
I don't think it's different in baseball, Kerry. I think the Cardinals lost their way at some point, and I do think Mo went too offensive heavy. I think he got away from the pitching and the defense that had been this club's bread and butter, because maybe him or he, the fan base got so loud about the lack of offense and the lack of offensive players that he sold out to get a couple of big sticks. And it has led to this team being painfully average this year and miserable 2 years ago.
Do you think that has something to do with keeping butts in seats? Like, defense is not, people aren't excited to see a good 6-4-3 double play, right? They're like, okay, cool, whatever. But you get guys that can hit the ball out of the park, and you're like, I'll show up for that. Fireworks.
Sure.
I'm excited.
I think
Do you think part of that had something to do with it?
Kerry, I think Mo went the shortcut route. I think he saw the fact that he couldn't get guys from other organizations to kind of fill in the gaps that were created by the drafts. So he was committed to pitching, and he always wanted the high floor of offensive players, right? Guys that he knew at the very least are going to be utility players. Well, what you wound up with was a bunch of utility players, and the middle of the order was weak for a stretch. They missed the playoffs for 3 straight years, narrowly, but they missed the playoffs 3, and the pitching typically was good. And the batting order, just the offensive one there. I mean, you're talking about Steven Biscotti and Randall Grichuk, good players in their own right. They're not middle of the order hitters.
Right.
And that's what they were producing. Obviously, the loss of Oscar Taveras that certainly hit. But I think he sold out. I think he sold out for Goldschmidt, and once he got Goldschmidt, he wanted another bat. So he sold out for Ozuna, and he gave up what should have been the foundation of another Cardinals rebirth, which was that pitching.
I don't. So for me, I don't beat him up too badly about that trade, because that's you talking about Sandy Alcantara and Zach Gallen.
I think we're sitting here because of that trade.
But you still had Reyes and Jack Flaherty, who were ranked or rated higher than those two.
Sure.
They got injured. So I think part of it is just bad luck as well. Like, if you're looking at, if you needed to trade two pitchers, you traded the two that you thought you could get away with in those two, because you had Reyes and you had Flaherty here. They were rated higher. They were projected to be better players, better pitchers. They just got bit by the injury bug, and it stunk. And so, to me, I don't beat them, because you got to go get what you got to get. And if I got to get two guys to get one, and you need two pitchers, I'm going to give you those two. Now, hindsight being 2020, if he'd gave up Flaherty and Reyes and kept the other two, and then those two go get hurt, then you're like, oh, they made a hell of a trade.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily beat him up too bad about that, because you never know when you're making a trade how it's all going to play out. Yeah. Who the hell knew Marcell Ozuna was going to jump on a wall and miss a ball by 30 feet? Like, you couldn't predict that.
Right.
Like, something about him here is not what he is when he was in Miami, or what he is now in Atlanta. It's just not. It's vastly different.
Yeah.
So I'm not too upset about that. But it's just, I think the other decisions, or the non-decisions, are the problems that I have seen. Like, the development part of it. Are you saying just go out there and play? Oh, well, how do I play outfield, sir? I've never done this before. Oh, yeah, you're an athlete. You'll figure it out. Will I? It looks a little different coming here in right field than third base. Yeah. And I think that at times that part of it got lost. So, it's just, it's certain parts of it that I don't feel like is solely on Mozeliak, but there are other parts where you say, yeah, that wasn't a good decision, or keeping that player longer than you should have wasn't a good decision. Dylan Carlson, again, is another example. You kept him too long and you didn't get much in return from him. Like, and you were frustrated. Like, if you were going to do that, you might as well put him in the minors if you weren't going to get something of value in return. Yep. Same thing, Tommy Edman. You traded him away, and you got a month and a half of Tommy Pham and Eric Fetty.
Yeah.
Right. So, I think that's the level of frustration. It's like, it's not getting the things you need back in return for what you're giving up.
Sure.
Or not giving up what you need to soon enough, because then that's causing you to not get anything back in return.
Yeah, Willie from the Snake Pit also says, and I had mentioned Oscar Taveras. He said, Anthony, we're sitting here because of the tragic passing of Oscar Taveras. I think that is one of the moves that sent this organization and John Mozeliak into like chase mode.
Yeah.
So I think, Willie, I think you're right. I think you lose him. Who knows if he would have? We all thought he would develop.
Yeah.
There were certainly signs there. If he did develop and he's sitting in the middle of your order, yeah, maybe you're not chasing for Ozuna. To me, though, that was the trade. This is where you and I disagree. I look, trades, some don't work out.
Yeah.
But I think if you have the philosophy of, I'm not giving up what the bedrock of this organization is, which is pitching. I can't do it. I know I need offense. I'll try to find it. I cannot give up pitching. And if you have that philosophy, it's kind of like staying true to your beliefs, right?
You play blackjack, you don't hit 16s, or you do.
Yeah, right.
Either you do it every time, or you
absolutely
never do it.
Unless the dealer's got a bus card.
Yeah.
I'm always going to hit my 16s. Always. I'm going to live and die by this. You play consistently.
Yeah.
This is how I do it. No matter what, I'm going to double down on 10.
Yeah.
I'm going to live and die by my
philosophy.
Yes.
Your principles.
So to me, it was that was it with Mo, and I think it went sideways. But it's clearly multiple things that have led us to this.
Yeah.
But to your point earlier, as we come full circle, you have to start over, regardless of all the mistakes that were made. If you want to move forward and get this right, you've got to go back to eating right and exercising. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we could talk about all the diets and this and that and whatever. Calories in, calories out, and are you working out? Those are the two foundations. You have to start over.
Right. I agree.
So, Hopefully they do it right this time.
We'll see.
We will see. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. That's Kerry Davis. That's Andrew Marsh. Jamie is downtown for tonight's Blues game, which you can listen to right here on 101 ESPN, starting with the pregame at 6 o'clock. We're going to play Hot Take or Hot Garbage, 314-399-9646. If you want to participate in that, you can. That's the Air Comfort Service text line. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hot Take.
Let's play Hot Take or Hot Garbage. This is when you send in a hot take or what you think is a hot take, and Carey and I discuss and judge whether or not it is a hot take. Or maybe just call it hot garbage. Marsh, what do we got?
We brought this up earlier in the show. Bronny James from the 314. Bronny will develop into a solid NBA player for 15-plus years. Hot take or hot garbage? So he ain't his old man.
I agree. He's not his old man. I don't know if he has that long of a career. I don't think he carves out. Like, what is his skill set?
I don't know.
You know,
defense,
like
solid defense,
solid or great defense.
I think he can be a solid on-ball defender. I don't know if you play 15 years by doing that without being a guy that can knock down shots or be an elite point guard.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you play defense, there's a role for you. But I also think he's undersized. He's what, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah.
I don't think he's 6'4". So
no, I don't think he's 6'4" either. What's LeBron? Is he 6'4"? He's 6'6"?
6'8", excuse me.
LeBron is 6'8"?
Yeah. And Bronny is 6'2". Wow. So I don't think that, like, basketball is different, man. Like, if this was the 90s, yeah, he probably would be able to stay on the team for 15 years and play on-ball defense and just pick you up 94 feet and just do his thing. But I think guys are so much more skilled. They're so much taller and have longer wingspans. Like, guys are just different. They are aliens out there. They are extraterrestrial. Like, they are different. So I think it's difficult. Yeah, E.T. I think it's difficult to stay in the league for that long if you possess mainly just defense.
By the way, we're talking about like height and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know who would, if you were making a tight end out of, like scratch in some lab, you know what I think is like the perfect size tight end?
Who?
Kate Otten. Like, he just looks like a tight end.
Okay. I can see that.
He's 6'5", but he's like proportionate.
Yeah. I'd rather
I don't remember him at Washington.
I'd rather have Gronk.
Gronk?
He's the
sure.
Prototypical tight end.
Yeah. I mean, Gronk, you're talking about one of the best run-blocking tight ends and pass-catching tight ends.
Play the game.
He can play the game. Yep.
Yeah.
I love listening to him sometimes, especially when he gets on Kelsey's the Kelsey Brothers podcast or wherever he starts talking. He's talking about running routes, but really not knowing what the hell he's doing. Just flat out like, Tom was going to, I'm doing this.
Hey, we drafted you. Go play, kid.
Yep, and he did. But man, what a great run blocker.
Yeah.
I got a text from Jackson Burkett. LeBron is 6'8"? Let me in there. He's 6'9".
No.
6'9".
6'9", 250.
He's listed at 6'9".
I think he's 6'9". I thought he was 6'8". He's a large fella. He's a big human being, man.
I would have
He was
loved
probably
to see,
created to play basketball.
I would have loved to see him play tight end in his prime.
I don't want to. I know he was pretty good in high school. He's a receiver.
Could you imagine him in the red zone?
Nah. I think he's done really well for himself. You know what I wanted to see? Allen Iverson. Because he was really good at football.
Running back?
Quarterback.
He's a quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, what was he, 6'2"?
Yeah, AI 6'1", 6'2".
It's so funny, right? You look at him and you're like, man, he's small. 6'2". Yeah. It's still pretty good size.
That's
All
funny.
Right, go ahead.
This one comes from Justin. Hot take or hot garbage? The most wasted career in the last 15 to 20 years is Mike Trout.
It's not wasted. How many MVPs he got? In terms of not making playoff runs and not...
In terms of, like, wasting his career from a team standpoint, it's got to be Mike Trout, right? From, like, a team perspective?
Probably.
Like, you had a generational talent. You didn't win a damn thing.
He should have left.
I mean, not a thing.
His friend did. Nobody tell him to stay there forever. Him and Shohei probably get on the phone like, I told you, bro. You can come right down the road. We have a lot of fun down there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't stay up there. Come on down. The hell would you want to do that for? No, he got paid a lot of money, man, and won some MVPs, and, it is what it is. I don't think you would blame anybody but him.
Yeah.
Like, there might be a level of stubbornness there. I can do it here. Yeah, can you? Even the Angels in the outfield, did they win the championship?
Marsh?
Could they win?
Did they win?
The Angels,
The Angels in the outfield?
They didn't win?
No.
They didn't win at all?
They're the Angels. It's tough to win. MD 2020 says Deshaun Watson would like a word. I actually think there's another NFL player. If you go back the last 15 to 20 years, you talk about the team wasting a talent.
Ooh.
I've got one more so than Deshaun Watson.
Wasting a talent.
Yeah, now Watson wastes his own talent, but...
Is it a quarterback?
It's a quarterback.
Oh, it's got to be Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck. The most wasted talent from the team perspective, not
They beat
him.
him up so bad, he said, I don't want to play no more.
Andrew Luck was one of the most gifted quarterbacks I have ever watched play.
Bruce Arians, I can't remember which podcast he was on, but he was talking about Andrew Luck, and it might have been one of the Barstool podcast, and he said that Andrew Luck took what Bruce Arians thought to be one of the worst teams that he has ever coached and took them to the playoffs.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's your guy, BA.
Yeah. BA.
I don't think that's your guy.
I'd like to joke him, maybe.
I don't want to go spree well on him.
No.
Actually, real quick here from the 636, hot take or hot garbage, the Cardinals won't receive a top 100 prospect in a trade this offseason. So if they do end up doing these trades.
Hot take.
Hot take?
Yeah, hot take. I agree. Hot take. They're not that skilled to do that. And they'll probably be dumping contracts. So, looking to just dump the contract.
I have faith in them.
Okay.
They've made a shift.
Droid FX, Angels had a miracle run in 2002. Haven't been relevant since.
Yeah.
100% accurate.
Trout wasn't there.
100% accurate. No, that was Yadier Molina was there. That was Troy Gloss. Yadier Molina. Yeah. Or I'm sorry. Benji Molina.
Yeah. Right.
Yachty was definitely not with the Angels.
No, he wasn't here yet.
Sorry. Benji Molina was the Angels.
That was
catcher.
Mike Scioscia was the manager, wasn't
Scioscia.
Yes. Troy Percival.
Yeah.
Scott Spezio was on that team.
K-Rod. Felix
that's when they
Rodriguez.
beat
or not
the
Felix
Giants
Rodriguez.
in the World Series.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yeah.
K-Rod. K-Rod was their closer.
Wasn't
John Lackey.
Darren Erstad on that team?
Yep.
Good team, huh?
That was the Rally Monkey team. Mm-hmm.
So Mike Trout is at fault for that.
Exton. Yep. AB
Hadn't been
Exton.
there yet.
Yeah. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Biggest question of the day next.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We are about a little over 20 minutes away until Blues pregame. The Blues will take on the Utah Hockey Club tonight. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. If you missed anything from today's show, including our interview with Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our full shows and interviews there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Before we get out of here, we have our biggest question of the day and criticisms and compliments. So biggest question of the day is coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
Time for the biggest question of the day. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What do we got, Marsh?
All right, so we know what kind of impact Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway have brought to the Blues as they are going through their retool right now. We've had several discussions today about the Cardinals and what their retool, reset, rebuild, whatever you want to call it, whatever that looks like. Do you think that the Cardinals need their own version of Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway? Does that need to be within the organization, or does that need to be someone that they bring in?
Can those guys hit? Because if they can, I say sign them up. Philip Broberg is a hell of a player.
They're hockey players.
I think he can. No, I mean, once his knee heals, put him at the plate. See what he got.
Kerry, they're hockey players.
Oh, okay. You mean someone like those guys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think. I mean, obviously, if you can find players, what we're really talking about is fleecing another team for a player they cannot hold on to, or they can't use at that time. But I don't think that needs to be the case because there's no salary cap here.
I got it.
In baseball.
Carry your hand.
I got a bit of a slight dilemma here.
What's the problem?
So the Blues did that and did a really good job of evaluating Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg. Like they knew.
What are you saying?
Well, so they did a really good job of understanding through evaluation, watching film, talking to people, that those two could come in. You could offer them a contract, and those two could come in and really help your organization.
Yeah.
And so I thought the Blues did a really good job of that. I thought the Blues did a fantastic job of evaluating those two guys.
Sure.
And so what you're asking is for the Cardinals to evaluate?
Yeah.
Can the Blues do it?
Can Army do it? Yeah.
I just want, if we're going to evaluate and try to get over on somebody, I prefer the evaluation to take place.
Sure.
By qualified folks.
Mo used to qualify. He used to call Boston all the time and just rip them off. But that was a long time ago.
Okay.
To Kerry's point, if Mo was going to fleece somebody over the last X amount of years, it would have happened. Now, he did do that with Goldie. Arenado barely counts because I think Nolan Arenado basically told the Colorado front office, trade me to the Cardinals or nothing else. But other than those two guys, was there a savvy move that Mo made? I'll give him credit on Giovanni Gallegos for Luke Voigt. I'll give him that one. But other than that, it's not like Mo has been the Rays where they're constantly picking the pocket of somebody, or maybe not even the Rays, the Brewers too. The Brewers are constantly finding players that are undervalued in other organizations and making them full-time starters. Willy Adames is a perfect example of that. The Rays had him, and the Brewers were able to make a deal well before the trade deadline and get a stud. Has Mo done that? Like, everybody knows what Paul Goldschmidt was in Arizona.
Yeah, we're looking for younger players.
Younger guys,
players
cost control players.
that came over from another organization.
What was the last time you really felt great about that?
Well,
Tyler
does it have to
O'Neill?
be a younger player? Because I like Andrew Kittredge. Thought he did well.
So
you need him to be young?
He was drafted here.
Andrew Kittredge?
Oh, I'm sorry, Kittredge. I was thinking Andrew Kisner. My bad.
Kittredge. He's not young.
But I when I ask this question, I mean, like, can they can they help turn the franchise around? Like, Andrew Kittredge is not that guy. Like, I'm looking for a younger player.
I think it's got to be your farm. I think it's got to be your farm system players. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So do you kind of added that last part at the end there? I'm with that last part in the end. I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be the young players. I think it's the young guys that are in the organization that come up and say, "Hey, this is the way. This is how we do it."
So it's within the organization rather than what the Blues did, where they went out and got two other guys to help navigate this retool.
And the Blues know too. Like, you've got these guys, Dvorak and some of these other guys that are either on the cusp or not ready yet. We don't want to go that route, and we don't want to spend a bunch of money in free. We can't spend a bunch of money in free agency. Doesn't make sense to. But what's the next best route? Well, it's finding guys like Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg. That was incredibly creative by Doug Armstrong.
Yeah.
When was the last time Mo was creative with a transaction? I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll be listening for a while, waiting.
We better hope that Chaim Bloom is that guy.
Gonna have to be.
I don't. Again, I agree with you, Anthony. I don't think you need to go and get it from some other organization. I think if you draft and evaluate and develop well enough, those guys can come up through your organization and be a part of the change that you need to see.
No doubt.
Yeah, you need to see some change.
Yes, definitely. We've got Bet the Board. We all hit last night. Nice job, guys. Well done. Well done. Bet the Board, 3 stars of the day. Criticisms, compliments, all next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and if you're a contractor or own a business that needs recycling, then my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metals can help you out. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. They understand that job site cleanup for contractors can be a mess, but if you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it'll be one less thing you have to do during cleanup. You'd be amazed at how the scrap metals add up and how it can help your business's cash flow. If you're on that heavy equipment, it breaks down time and time again. You have to repair it over and over. Eventually, the time will come to end your suffering, and Scrap Mart will come and get it out of your way. They'll haul your equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. You don't have to own a business. So if you have things in your home that you need to get rid of, recycling needs, Scrap Mart can help you with that as well. They have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. It is recycling made easy. They offer a convenient drive-on scale for you contractors. You will always get the highest payout. You will always get top dollar for your scrap metals. Just visit them today at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you rolling. That's scrapmartmetals.com.
So if you're confused by my Dusty Dvorak reference, I apologize. We're in the fourth hour of the show. My brain is mush. I meant Dalibor Dvorsky, not Dvorak.
Same thing.
Not the former Chicago Bear,
same.
Oklahoma Sooner defensive lineman. Maybe he could maybe he could put on some skates and do well. I know he was doing some broadcasting at one point in his career, but I meant Dvorsky, of course, not Dvorak. My bad. I'm an idiot. All right. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or the Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN app. It's all brought to you by Dove's Tire and Auto Centers. Time to bet the board. Marsh, you have honors.
All right, give me Chase Brown, Derrick Henry, over 147.5 rushing yards.
Hold on.
So combined rushing yards.
Wow.
That's a prop.
So it's
you got to dig in the weeds on these sports books.
How many
but I found
rushing
it.
yards?
147.5
Between the two of them.
Between the two of them.
They let you pick two?
I like a good you pick two.
Okay.
I didn't know you could do that.
It's on the head-to-head portion of
they've got
said sports book.
I believe Marsh here. They've got all kinds of stuff there.
They have so right next to that, if you're intrigued, you're listening or whatever. They also have the spread between the two running backs. So like if Derrick, I think the spread is 33.5 yards. So that you would, if you pick the Derrick Henry, he has to then outrush Chase Brown by essentially 34 yards.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good.
That is
or
fun.
You
could get what I did is I combined the two. So
what is the line? I'm interested. You have it in front of you. What is the line on the
for both of them?
Yeah, for the head-to-head. What's the point spread for Derrick Henry?
It was 33.5.
It was 33.5?
Yeah.
I'll take Derrick Henry.
Okay.
To rush for more than
33.5
yards over the Chase Brown.
I hope Chase Brown rushes. Never mind.
I think he's going to get shut down. And I think it's a Derrick Henry night. Yeah. So, Marsh, you open the door.
You walk through it.
I'm not going to tell you what I was going to go with because I don't want CD stealing my picks.
I'm tell you what I'm going with.
What are you going with?
Lamar Jackson, 1.5 touchdowns. Passing touchdown.
All right. What's the odds on that?
122.
125. I was going to go with Jamar Chase over 83.5 receiving yards because I think he's going to have a big night. But I think this is a Derrick Henry game. I think Chase Brown gets shut the blank down.
So it's actually minus 32.5. What did I say? 33?
Yes.
So minus 32.5.
I need.
It's at minus 115.
So Derrick Henry needs to rush for 33 more yards than Chase Brown.
I need Lamar and Joe Burrow to have a passing night. And neither one of your guys to do much. Sorry, not sorry.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Throw for 5 touchdowns each. Rush the ball. 18 times between both teams.
I don't know why you got to be so
73 yards.
Such a jerk about it.
Jamie's taking the Ottawa Senators tonight.
Ottawa.
I think he already announced that.
Yeah, he did.
The show.
Yep.
So
good luck to you.
Let's hope that they lose.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. All right. What do we got for criticisms and compliments?
Yeah, from the 314, comparing how you build a baseball team to how you build a hockey team is asinine. Why are you guys even trying?
Well, there's a lot of concepts that can be applied to all sports, all leagues, all businesses. There's certain things that you can fall back on.
And
you're not comparing.
Were you comparing the two? Or were you just saying, can the Cardinals do something in terms of evaluating a player from outside the organization to come in and help this organization?
You might have nailed it, Kerry.
It's not only that, but it's just roster building overall. It's not like we're like, hey,
hey man,
why don't you get a center to play center field?
Hey man,
but hey,
maybe
context gets murdered.
Maybe
sometimes.
That person got confused with my sarcasm, saying, "Can Philip Broberg
maybe
third in our lineup?" I think he could actually. So couldn't be much worse.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got a text from 314. Actually, Justin, great show. Guys killed it again.
Hey,
thank you,
Justin.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, are you ready for the 3 stars of the day?
Bet your sweet ass we are.
All right, let's do it. Our 3rd star of the day goes to Yadier Molina, the the Anaheim Angel.
Boy, I had a rough hour. I called Dalibor Dvorsky Dusty Dvorak, and I said that Yadier Molina was the catcher for the Angels.
Yadi?
Yeah, and I said, Yadier Molina. And of course, I meant Benji Molina.
Benji. What I said. Hell are you talking about?
Walrus King chimed into the statement, goes, Molina played for that team. He's right.
Not Yadier Molina.
No, Molina. It was Benji Molina.
The 2nd star of the day goes to Dusty Dalibor Dvorak Dvorsky.
I'm actually surprised I haven't done that before with Dalibor Dvorsky. I don't know why we're comparing college football players to hockey players now, you know? It's just dumb.
Well, it just makes no sense.
It's asinine.
You gotta be
It's asinine.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right, our 1st star of the day just made so many great points earlier in the show, wearing those blue sunglasses. That goes to Tony Hockey.
Tony Hockey.
Tony Hockey. Yeah. Yep, he made an appearance today.
Yeah.
He made his first appearance today.
Yeah, but not his last.
No,
because he's going to show up every blue segment from here on out, is what he told us.
At least when Jamie gets all cranky, you know?
Yeah.
When Jamie doesn't want to talk negatively about the Blues, I think Tony Hockey will show up.
Tony Hockey.
Yeah.
I like that guy.
Speaking of the Blues, we've got Blues and the Utah Hockey Club pregame right here on 101 ESPN starting at 6 o'clock. So,
you like that name?
In 5 minutes. What's that?
The Hockey Club?
No.
Okay.
No, it's lazy. What is I don't like that.
It's like the Washington football team.
Yeah. Don't like that at all.
You didn't
man.
like that either?
No.
All right.
Willie says, thanks for lifting my spirits today, fellas. I needed it. Have a good night. See ya.
Glad you feel better.
Yeah, Willie. Hope everything is okay. Hope you're just having maybe a... Are you all right? Did your knee just buckled?
Oh, my.
It did.
I just saw a former Super Bowl champion fullback.
Oh, man. It just gave out.
In his early 40s, just have his knee buckled there. You all right?
It did give out. I'm fine.
Okay, good.
It happens from time to time.
All right. So you want to be a football player.
It did just give out.
Yeah. All right. Again, we got Blues, Utah Hockey Club pregame starting in less than 5 minutes. Our guy, Grant Francis. You'll hear, of course, Joey Vitale and Chris Kerber and Alex Ferrario. And, of course, we'll have the game for you on the Blues Radio Network right here on 101 ESPN. For Jamie Rivers, for Andrew Marsh, for Kerry Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. Thank you so much for listening and watching. See you.